makes you happy.
You just gotta think it, do it, and get it done. You gotta stop procrastinating.
It's time to be creative.
I realized that life is a lot more about the journey.
Experience amazing.
Sometimes you just need to pick up and go.
Get out there and see everything you're missing.
Welcome to
Finding
Lost.
The ability to just go. Get off your ass and experience everything. Welcome to Finding Lost with Daniel Chipman.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we did it.
Yes.
It's another one.
Another week, another podcast.
What's going on, man?
Not shit
It's been
with
an
me.
eventful week.
Yeah, it has, I guess. Yeah. I've been trying to. I don't know. I'm kind of finding my way back and forth. Kind of just lost and trying to find my way. That's about it.
Elmer in Elmer's world.
Yeah, I've been trying. Well, it's like I've been hitting the Facebook hard, and then I've been kind of going back and forth between that and the YouTube. But it is like I'm getting good interaction, but I'm still just like, I'm lost. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just I'm impulsive. And then I get an idea from somebody or a text or a tweet or a this or that or a meme. And then it's like, oh, okay, just talk about that and jump on it. And yeah.
Inspiration.
It gets me in trouble though sometimes. People are really pissed off at me right now. Certain ladies, because I commented on the abortion thing.
Ooh,
and
it's a sin, man.
they misunderstood me. Like most people are going to misunderstand you when you're like, I'm just talking about accountability for oneself. I'm not talking about like anything really like you shouldn't have access to this. It was more like, no, you should have access to everything. I believe in the freedom of choice, but if you want to worry about something, maybe worry about yourself and the way that you can, the way you can control yourself. If I was a woman, I might do things differently. I wouldn't be just spreading my legs to every man. Same thing with as a man, though. I don't want to just put my dick in every woman I see because, I worry
there's polarized issues in that
so
debate, and
much.
that's why
It
it's
is.
very hard to even have that discussion with.
No
pretty
matter
much,
what.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, no matter how, because then you get looked at like this, or if you're the woman defending the rights of so-and-so, then you get, no matter what, it's a really shitty topic. So is that like, oh, probably shouldn't have thrown my opinion
So way
out
to
there.
start it off, man. Let's start the podcast.
Well, we wanted to
with some
start.
abortion.
We wanted to start talking about the old man thing about sleeping and shit. Like I can't sleep that long because my body hurts. So I'm understanding like why your grandpa wakes up at 5:45 in the morning, or why your grandpa's been up since 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like because it's not that he's not tired. I'm sure your grandpa's fucking tired, but his body hurts so bad that he can't fucking sleep. And I'm getting to that stage where it's not so much that I want to be producing so much and not sleep. I just can't literally sleep more than 6 hours, and my body almost feels worse if I'm staying in bed for 6 hours or more. So I'm just to that stage of like, okay, I'd love to be sleeping. I would love to be sleeping a 12-hour
Get
day
the
like I
bed
used
pains.
to. Yes,
Get the bed
it is.
pains
I'm getting
already,
the
man.
kidneys, and this and that. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like 4 days off a Monster, so I'm doing okay. But
Ooh.
that's my challenge for
Just
myself.
cut it out, huh?
Just cut it out, and then I had the first day, instant fucking migraine, caffeine headache, and I tried to
Lowering
you
that
know,
sugar intake as well.
Oh Jesus, yeah. That's it. I'm cutting down, just cutting the monsters out. That cuts out so much sugar, so much shit, so much. It's just that heart attack kind of feeling. I'm like, I think I might die.
Yeah, that's
soon.
probably not
I
good.
might want to stop doing this shit. But I
But-
still smoke, and I'll cut that out eventually. But
You're still
Yeah.
going to do the things you enjoy. You still got some vices, but hey, all you
Oh,
can do
man.
is implement some change. Just
Yes.
do one thing differently.
well, it's like to me, it is a gradual. It's when you're ready to quit smoking, you're going to quit smoking. If
Sure.
you're a smoker out there listening to it, you will quit when you want to. You don't.
You got to
need
get
go
that
around.
mindset.
Yes, and a lot of people that go, "Oh, I wish I could. I wish I could."
It's not just like implementing discipline. It's like, sure, absolutely, but you have to have the right frame of mind even to begin.
You
It's
have to
not-
really want it,
Yeah.
to really want to not smoke. or
that
to
voice
really
has to.
want-
It can't just be something that comes up once in a while. It's
Well, yeah,
got
or
to
you
be
watched
more
a
and more
show.
dominant.
Oh, I watched a show that they said I should quit smoking. It's like, well, yeah, it's a good idea, but do you personally really think it's a good idea, and do you really feel like you're going to do that compared to just bullshitting people? Oh, I'm going to try this new diet. I'm going to do. And you didn't. You tried it for a day and then you quit, or you didn't smoke for 10 minutes. Cool. Well, I'm quitting. I don't need to give you credit.
Sure. Right.
But it is the really wanting to. With anything, people just you have to want it. So I actually want to not die soon, and I'll slow down the killing myself process.
Just to stop drinking the Monster.
Yes, and that's the kind of craziest thing is that to help myself, all I got to do is stop doing things. It's not like I actually need to start doing things. I really don't need to start eating better. If I just stopped eating the shit that I eat, I'd be okay. If I just stopped eating all the sugar and junk food, then eating all the chicken I
Sure,
eat and all the
absolutely.
meat and all the potatoes and everything else I eat, that's perfectly fine. But it's just stop smoking so many cigarettes. Stop drinking so many fucking caffeinated beverages. And, so it's that feeling of people think they have to quit everything. And it's like, no, you don't. Just don't do it as much, and then moderate, and then kind of, you can do anything with moderation. So it's that feeling of I'm getting into that headspace right now, and it's really... It's been fun. It's been interesting.
That's good, man. Yeah, you gotta get in that headspace.
What about you?
Better yourself.
Where's your
Get
headspace
better.
at?
Well, speaking of bettering yourself, speaking of sleep, I was just watching John Wick. So I went to go see John Wick 3, which is badass. But Thursday I ended up watching, like late night, the first and second films.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was getting like the real good refresher.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a scene in there that I noticed, and I was like, he's like laying down in bed, and you kind of see the alarm clock, and it's like 10:56. And I'm like, damn, even John Wick makes it to bed before 11 o'clock.
Yes. Oh,
and then he's up at 6 a.m. And I'm like, yep, even the assassins are up at 6 a.m.
Yes, that's it. The assassins have a schedule too.
Right.
It's like, I've got a regimen that I have to keep, and I don't care how many people I kill or what I do. Yeah, it's like,
right.
I still
it's just
have
like,
to.
fuck, if John Wick
Still
can do it.
businessman, okay? God damn it. I'm still going according to, the average day American.
Doing
like,
what you had to do. Yeah, it was just funny. And it's, because that's still a struggle.
I'm sure he doesn't have that many third shifters to kill,
Right,
that kind of thing. So he's like, I work basically on the mass majority of the people I have to kill,
Right,
usually awake from, 7 to 11. Like, okay.
Well, yeah, until he's, now he's on, the whole he's basically been on the run. But.
See, and I'm not up to date with the John Wick. I think I've seen part of the second one.
Did you see the first one?
I've seen the first one, yeah. First one was great, but I've seen part of the second one, and then, I'm just not a big movie goer. I'm almost like checked out of, I don't know. I like pop culture. I like to know what's going on with the mass majority, and I get to see it on Facebook, but I'm kind of checking out almost. Like I was balls deep in the news a few months ago. I was balls deep in everything, but I'm almost, I know about Game of Thrones. I know what the hell's going on kind of, but I'm not digging deep into it anymore. I'm really going more into myself and more into like, what do I want to create? What do I want to do? What?
Right. Well, like kind of like what we had talked about on our last podcast about like things that you appreciate and what bring value to your life. See, like there's a handful of content pieces that I guess like mean something to me. So like the John Wick series means something to me. The Avengers Endgame, it means something to me. And it's not, sure, it's pop culture and it's all these things.
You have a personal,
but it's what I'm into. You know, it's always what I've been into. It's what got me into what I'm doing with film and everything anyway.
Yes.
So, like always wanted to do badass action, and this is just some of the most intense badass action you've ever seen.
Why not watch the best? If I want to do YouTube, I started looking at PewDiePie, the #1 subscribed to guy. So it's that feeling of, watch the best fucking action films if you want to make action films.
Did you ever see that movie with Clive Owen, Shoot 'Em Up?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
awesome.
Those kind of action films really, they get my attention, but I'm not a hardcore diehard fan. Like I'm not a diehard film fan. I might be a movie buff, meaning I can quote some lines and shit, and I like this or that, but I'm not a diehard just like, oh yeah, I've got to see this, I've got it. Like a lot of people are with the Clive Owen just reminds me of the fucking Sin City and things of that nature, where it is that just a diehard, like you're into comic books, then they make it into a movie, and then they do this. I've never been a diehard fan of anything. It's more like I've been a movie buff where I'll get the quotes and I'll get this and I'll pay attention to everything. I'll be able to quote you some old school or some Ron Burgundy shit or whatever, but I'm not the diehard like I have to see every Marvel movie or I have to see this or whatever, even Spider-Man to whatever it is. But I appreciate that in people, especially like cosplay shit, where they're just diehards. You're literally a diehard fanatic.
I mean, it depends on the film, obviously, in my opinion. But like, I think that a lot of like the way I judge, like I don't go to see. It's very, very rare that I go to see a comedy in the theater. I go to the movies to experience something.
Yes.
So it's like,
I guess that's why I bring up the diehardness. Like the diehardness of you that I kind of get is like you're probably watching that movie Die Hard, like of angles and cinema and everything. Just the actual work in the process. Obviously, you enjoy it as a movie too, but you're still there as an artist yourself to see somebody else's art.
Judging.
Yes, and comparing and critiquing and being like, oh, well, how did they do that? If it makes you say how'd they do that, then it must be good. That's what I'm learning about just anything. And then when people are asking me like, well, how'd you do that in that one video you did? It's like, oh, it must be good then, because you're kind of intrigued and you're kind of, oh, that it kind of got my brain going, instead of just watching something that's pretty typical and mundane and there's no questions. Cool. Well, that's great.
It was definitely, it was just one of those things though, like, I don't know, going to the theater to see this one, it was awesome because like you had everyone laughing.
Yeah.
Like some of the action was just so like awesome and ridiculous but the people that were there are like the fans that were like, that enjoy it like that,
Yes. They make that movie is made for that audience almost like to a dead nuts T of like the Marvel, whatever franchise would you want to call it, it seems to have their audience pretty targeted, pretty narrowed down.
Oh, I'm definitely not talking about Marvel. I'm talking about John Wick.
John Wick, yeah.
There's definitely a violent threshold that we're crossing.
Action in general,
it is insane.
yes.
But that's what I'm talking about. Is it's like it felt almost like what I imagine enjoying like an exploitation film back in the day would be like. You know, there's like this camaraderie in the theater,
yes,
which makes it fun.
Yes,
and I thought it was just so badass, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And Halle Berry's in it too, and you know she's smoking hot.
I haven't seen her in a minute.
But yeah, dude, it was a pretty eventful weekend. So check that out. I did that last night, and then Saturday I ended up running through and going swing by Durand.
Oh yeah, good old railroad days. I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and she's like acting like she's never been. And I'm like, oh, okay.
It kind of bummed me out because like it used to be like right in the main drain.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now it's like not. And like that really was a part of the aesthetic. I feel it was like part of the feeling and part of like what made it feel like a community.
Yes,
you know?
I mean that'd be like Kerwood not being down by the river, where they're like, we're not going to do it by the river anymore. We're going to go do it over the Wendy's parking lot. Maybe go do it over here, and we'll have you maybe down on Washington Street.
It's going to be at Big Lots.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be like, well, it's still Kerwood, but it's not how I remember it. Oh, yeah.
Right,
Or I remember going to the railroad days and remembering it. I'm like, I thought it was so much bigger. But it's like, well, yeah, last time I was here, I was 9. So, of course,
you know what's funny
bigger.
is like all the rides, all of them are just so much better than when I was growing up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they have like the zipper and they have the Ferris wheel, and there's some classics. But everything else is just like, what the heck, man? They got some crazy impressive rides.
Oh, they should. And I can't. I
can't even ride half of them, dude. Like I can ride roller coasters all day long, but you get me in a tilt-a-whirl or those spinning strawberries or whatever. And the Gravitron is like
my equilibrium isn't as good as it used to be, man. I'll get that vertigo immediately. You're just like, what? And the whole world is shifting.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But like roller coasters again all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Oh, I need to go. I haven't been to Cedar Point in so long.
Dude, I heard it's like only $40 for Michigan residents.
Yeah, it's not that fucking much at all. Even if it was $80, even if it was $100, I still need to go. I don't ever give a shit about the price. I just, every single summer, I tell myself, I'm going to go to Cedar Point.
Let's go, dude.
I don't go, and then I don't go, and then I don't go. Oh,
you know, I've been telling I want to plan a trip to hell with Elmer.
Oh, yeah, trip to hell with, oh, man, yeah.
Dan and Elmer go to hell.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a good one. Oh, yeah, and there's I don't know, but there's this town actually called Elmer as well that's like kind of near down there or whatever. Because isn't hell like down? I thought it was down up in here or something.
I appreciate that you're holding up the Michigan map.
I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what side of the state it is on. Actually. I didn't look it up.
I've looked it up years ago when I was a kid because I was just interested in that kind of shit. I'm like, there's a hell Michigan. Tell my friends about it, and then.
But I've never been. Like everyone's been, and it's like
dude,
why haven't I been there?
Oh yeah, I've seen the bumper stickers. I've been to hell and back and blah blah blah, and it's like. Yes, it's something to just, and we'll probably get there. It'll be disappointing as fuck. And then it's like, okay, but we came to hell, didn't we? Right. We didn't come here just to fucking,
Sure, we can find some good puns.
Oh, dude, yeah. This was a hell of a trip. This is, yeah.
But
oh, my God. And it'll be hot as hell that day, probably, And,
about time, man. This weather sucks.
God, I'm just ready for it not to be shitty. I want it to look beautiful and stay beautiful, but I guess I'd have to move to San Diego.
You know what the weather is right now? It's like one of those, it's like the base, it's like a shitty relationship. It's that relationship that you're stuck in, that it's like, every once in a while it's nice, and it's so nice that it makes you just want to stay in it.
Yes,
you're just
don't kill yourself.
And you're gonna put up with like 14 days of gray skies and rain and just cold breeze, and then all of a sudden, hey, it's 75 degrees.
Yes.
The sun is shining, sky is blue.
Oh, man.
And you're like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or if it's even more like a relationship where then in the summertime, you're getting all the love you think you want. And then by the time it's what you think you want, all this nice weather, then you're like, it's too fucking hot.
It's too hot.
Too hot and too sunny.
I'm sweating.
And can the sun just go away? Like, can it be fall already? And then it's like, but I thought you were just bitching that it wasn't this.
Yeah, but
now,
this is too hot.
It's too hot though, and then it's too cold now, and the leaves are falling. I don't like the death, but I love fall. But yeah,
it's like if it could be between, between 68 to 74.
That's where San Diego
year round.
If you've ever been to San Diego, San Diego's like that, where it is. If it's a really breezy day, it might go down to 68. But if it's just a regular day, it's like 72 degrees, 72 and sunny.
Yeah, I've been down there.
The fuck? I mean,
beautiful.
I would have never left. I only went when
my
I was
buddy
a kid.
was telling me that he was parking his van in some some beach, but there's like an RV camp right there, and he only paid like it's like $200 a month.
Oh yeah, exactly.
To live right, and like you open the door and you're just looking at a beautiful ocean view.
Yes, go down to Venice Beach and all that stuff.
$200 a month.
Yeah,
live
Well, that was my whole
in California and San Diego downtown.
If I wouldn't have had kids in high school, I would have been the guy to leave at 18 and to go out to California and be homeless on a beach. Like that was kind of the plan of like, well, I'm going to try this music thing, but yeah, I could always do this. But then obviously you have kids.
Isn't that
and
interesting? Like when I used to travel, I'd see those guys, like the chosen homeless, the wanderers, the
really,
nomads, and they would inspire me every time I see them. I'm like, look at that, that guy's just doing it, man.
I just think of the reality.
Just doing it.
The reality of like being homeless in Michigan, that would suck. The reality is winter and it sucks and it's nasty weather. If you went and you were homeless somewhere, if I was homeless, with this charisma and this personality, I'm sure I could get you to give me some money, or I'm sure I could find something that I could work and earn my keep for the day. Like, so it's that feeling of, I've just held myself back because, I don't want to leave my children. I don't want to leave the state and all that other shit and blah, blah, blah. But as my kids are getting older, then it's like, well, yeah. And obviously you think of the reality of, the potential of just being here in Michigan and becoming successful, well, that's pretty limited. So you have to get out, you have to do shit, blah, 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 blah. But that was the goal. That was always the goal. And then it's like, well, I don't want to be homeless with children and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, don't be homeless with children.
Well, it's just, that's where anybody...
Unless you're Captain or Mr. Fantastic, or is it Captain Fantastic?
Anybody that doesn't have kids, like, go for it. Just go for it. That's what I say. Like,
I know, man. You just go for it, though. It
if you
still
talk
equals some other things.
Oh, yes, but it only equals experience.
Oh,
and it matters if it's good or bad, but that doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter.
No. And that when you're looking at your life as like just like this experiment or this,
Yes.
Dude, just whatever it is, your life, it's content, man.
Yes.
And when you're facing an obstacle like that,
oh yeah,
you're just going at it, and people want it. People love seeing your successes, but they really love seeing you fail.
Yes, and that's just like Joe Rogan. He wants the fucking underdog story. He wants you to go through shit and hit the low, and then come back though. And if you don't come back,
rise up through the flames, be a phoenix, man.
Yes, and it's always it's just like how we all love stories. Everybody loves a good love story.
And we love to watch him fall, and then we love to watch him come back.
I want to watch her break up with him. I want him to be cheating, and then I want him to realize that he was really,
we mentioned this before, because it's not that, oh, look, they made it. It's that they made it, and then they failed, and then they're making it again.
And we got to watch the whole thing.
Exactly.
That is really the utmost. Like, I got to watch it. I got to see it. Awesome. I got to feel like I was part of, that's the only thing.
Britney Spears going through her breakdown.
Yes. Man. Oh yeah. I was there with Britney. Leave Britney alone. Just leave her alone. Like, is that what they're saying about James Charles now? The fucking, have you heard, do you know the James Charles situation?
I do not know the story. No, I don't even know.
James Charles, YouTuber. He's a big makeup artist, does makeup tutorials, all the other stuff. Very big. I think he had like, I don't know how many millions of subscribers, but he just lost like 3 million in 1 week. Because he did this deal where he was promoting someone's other makeup line, this Tatiana chick or whatever, Tati, whatever the fuck, and then basically just went behind her back, made a deal with somebody else, and then all these other things came out about him where he's been trying to hook up with straight men the whole time. And then all this shit comes out about, once he fucked this girl over, then she comes out with all of his kind of, well, here's what I've watched James Charles do, and here's what I've seen him do, and he's always been hitting on straight men and trying to convince them that they're gay. So that's the big YouTube controversy for the last week. It's just this James Charles shit where people like you don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
people like me don't give a fuck. But the pop culture, all these tweens, well, we're living in a tween time. Yeah, the tweens. Sure. Oh, that's the latest thing. Like, I keep my thumb on that pulse, kind of, more than I'm keeping it on the whole John Oliver, Saturday Night Live, Stephen Colbert. Like, I used to be into that, but I'm not like, man, the kids know more than we do. We think we're smart with these sophisticated shows, but the kids are more like, I just want it to be brightly colored and talking and fast and this and that. And, oh, he looks pretty.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. And he can sell me a filter or sell me the, like, but then that's where I don't want.
There we go.
I want
Snapchat filters.
Yes, I want to get my thumb on them to help them, though, where it's like the feeling of like, I don't feel like I know more than the younger generation because I know they're smarter, but they're not being the smartest with what they choose to do. So it's that feeling of, well, if you can listen to some old fuck like me, I'll advise you in what may make you happier to do this or to do that. But I want to know what you're into as well. I don't want to be the, oh, you shouldn't be listening to that guy. He's a fucking blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't be listening to that music. It's just shit. Instead of being that guy, which I know I'm going to end up being eventually, inevitably, I'd rather be that guy and recognize that I'm going to be that guy and I am that guy already, but be nice about it and be like, well, what are you into? Why are you into that person? Why are you into James Charles? He kind of looks like some gay kid that likes this and that, and that's just my take on it. But oh, well, he gives you this and he gives you that. And then what do you get from these Logan Pauls and these Jake Pauls? Oh, well, they're just funny. That's it. The younger generation don't
They're
care.
funny,
just,
man.
They're just
It's
into
just
like
entertainment. It's content. Consume.
So it's like they're not wrong. They have it right. They know that life is just entertainment, but they're going to waste a lot of their life because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or they're trying to keep up with the Kardashians, or whatever it may be. Where it's like, I want people to feel their self-worth, but not have to be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
you know, because it just sucks because they do live through these James Charles people. A lot of these younger, even my nephew and my niece and shit, they look up to these people, and it's like, man, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Where it's like, I don't want to be the mean guy, but I also don't want to not say anything and not know about James Charles, even though, yeah, anybody my age, we don't give a fuck. 32-year-old dude, like, yeah.
But so who is what? Like, tweens are watching this? And
it's tweens. It's just a YouTube, like, it's a YouTube star who's really huge, and that's a controversy on YouTube. As a YouTuber, now it's that feeling of, I keep up to the
yeah, you're
YouTube
always looking
news.
at, like, what's trending and stuff like that. I don't even look at that. I don't even think I ever even click on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's because I want the YouTube to feel like a community, because it does. Like, the more you get into YouTube, the more you'll realize that it is a community. Like, your channel is a community that you want to build. So therefore, it's way more honesty. Like, these people on Facebook, they're not gonna hide behind an anonymous thing, but they're still not gonna have the balls to tell you what's up. The YouTubers may hide behind an anonymous name, but they're very much more honest, and they're very much more detailed about, you're a fucking idiot piece of shit, low life cocksucker for your opinion, Elmer. Here you go. I'm going to tell you that. And I'm like,
you took your hood off, and I'm just like looking over there, and I feel like I'm looking at Jeffrey Ross.
Jeffrey Ross? Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Jeff Ross. He's one of my favorites.
He's great. He's like the roast master, man. He is.
I was becoming the roast master wearing this fucking hoodie. I'm like, man.
Roasted under that fur, brother.
Yeah, so yeah.
That fox fur, man. That's crazy.
I love it.
So tell me about the Avenue, Max. I was definitely you went to that comedy show. Sorry to cut you off on that other topic, man. I'm like sitting here and I'm just like, man, I'm trying to figure out who you look like. You look like, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, the Avenue was great. It was a good time, and I got picked on a little bit, and that was fun. That's always a good one, you know. Where
you sat up right up front?
Yes. Oh yeah, always. Where it's so much nicer. Like they were doing it at the Moonbeam, and the Avenue just has a better layout. It just really has a better layout. It has this and that. I'm a dickhead.
Did you get any footage from the night or anything?
No, I was there. I almost looked at it as a night off. Sure. I was just like, I don't want to be that guy. I'm the night off guy of like, yeah.
It's really hard to be that guy, bro.
Well, it's like if I had
especially when you're in a place by yourself.
If I had somebody that I was there to see personally, and I could be like, yeah, man, I'm taking pictures for this guy, kind of.
Exactly, but when you're not,
I'm like, no, I'm really,
and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm making a vlog.
Well, I could have created content for myself, but I didn't feel like it. I was out with my girlfriend, and I'm like, I'm doing this. That's
We're enjoying our night,
enjoying my night, and it was nice, and it was the food was great. The food's killer. The service, it kind of sucked, to be honest, but they'll get better. And I gave them a review. I fucking left them a review on their Facebook. Everything's good.
Got to Yelp that shit for it to mean anything.
It's just, oh God, Yelp me.
Remember that South Park episode?
Oh yeah. Oh,
so great.
Fucking God damn it. The South Park just has everything right.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone are so brilliant.
Yes, but they just sit back and observe.
Sure.
What else are they doing? They're not going out.
This season is kind of lackluster, and I tell you, or the last season, and I tell you, there was a handful of seasons in there where it was just kind of dead. But like,
oh yeah,
when they came back with the Amazon and bringing in the Whole Foods and everything, it was.
I just enjoy their process. I respect their process, and then knowing their process, I kind of know they're gonna fuck up.
Yeah, did you watch that documentary?
Oh yeah, 6 days to air and all that good stuff. And I've even watched more interviews with them. I just, like I said before, I go balls deep into people where it's like I find the individual I like and I go balls deep. Literally, I'm just as fucking.
That's why I have content there, man. You got to have shit there for people to consume.
Oh man, and YouTube has been my best search tool.
I just realized that, like, out of all my minutes, like literally only a third viewed from my shit is from the United States.
Yeah,
most of my stuff is viewed overseas.
That's funny. And like UK kind of area, or more like Asia.
Female.
Yeah.
Malaysia and just all over, man. Yes. It's like, oh, what the?
Oh yeah.
How the hell?
Oh yeah.
Like,
that's it.
It's crazy.
Any search, anything like that. Like I get the my stats I've been looking at is like where people are actually finding it. You know, are they finding it from the YouTube search? Are they finding it from a Facebook external link? Are they finding it from this or that or a website? It's like none of my shit's on a website, but it is all YouTube. 70% is YouTube search. 30% is the Facebook, because I've been sharing my shit on Facebook. And then
that website, Elmer.
Oh yes, I know, but I feel the same way I do.
I'm feeling like I can't even believe the traffic that goes to that site.
Oh, I know. I just look at, I don't know. I don't feel like I just don't care about a website, because I want your eyes on my YouTube. I want your eyes on my YouTube. So I feel, shit. Oh, I know that, but it's still the feeling of I know how.
Dude, even if your website is just literally a place that it links to all your social media.
But that's another
with a couple photos in a bio.
I think about the technology even of like, it's a loop to, if I put my YouTube videos on an internet site or on my website, then it has to load from YouTube to here. Why not just have you go right to my fucking YouTube, and then there's no...
you get the option. Like you can you can totally set that all up, man. Like,
I don't want to waste any of my time doing it. I will hire somebody. I will hire somebody to be like, here you go.
That's pretty basic stuff.
Oh yeah, but that's how much I don't care. I don't care about a
You do
website.
Care, because like you're pretty good at design, man. I noticed with the shit that you create on the fly. Why don't you do thumbs?
Websites. What do you mean, thumbnails? Oh, I do. I just get lazy. It's just the impulsiveness.
Right. See, I want to go on like to the next one, a template, and then I figure out like, oh, okay, this is how I'm gonna do
that's
these.
Where. But even like the thumbnail the other day, once you put our picture in the thumbnail, ooh, it started like going up more, and it was like just from the fucking reaction.
What's funny is like I just finished it when I seen that message.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You already. Oh yeah.
And I even went back and did the other one.
Oh yeah, it's like that's one of my favorites. I love seeing the Joe Rogan thumbnail or any podcast thumbnail where it is I'm seeing the people I'm going to see in it. Blah blah blah. Even
I've actually heard several people comment on the black and white very positively.
Yes.
They're like, I like the black and white.
I do too. I enjoy it because have you watched Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson?
Mm-mm.
That's a new podcast Mike Tyson just released, and he does it in black and white. He even does it like a frame around the black and white, within the frame kind of shit. And he doesn't give a fuck. Mike Tyson's so goddamn high.
I like going black and white just because it eliminates the distraction of color. Color's the distraction.
That's what it is too. Like that's what I really liked about his, and then what I liked about the black. Just any black and white.
Even some of the best interviews on documentaries, they're like black and white.
Well, there's
because they don't want the.
What the fuck is that one show where they interview? He was interviewing Dave Grohl. It's a musician kind of interview thing. I can't even remember the guy's name, but they do it in black and white, and that is it's always been that aesthetic that I like.
Netflix.
It's something like that.
The first interviews with Robert Downey, and it's a phenomenal interview.
Yes, that guy's.
So is the one with Grohl. It's a great interview too.
Oh yeah, Dave Grohl just released a 30-minute instrumental, and he basically he didn't take my idea or anything, but he did my idea that I've had of where I'm the guy playing all the instruments, and then you record me playing all the instruments in one room, and you just put it together. He just did that. Like sweet. I find it funny that these musicians that are been professionals for years, they're finally trying shit that I've already tried, and it's not to brag about myself, really, not at all. It's just a comparison of like Trent Reznor, for example, not 3 years ago, but back in 2013 when he did Hesitation Marks, he talked about how they started like mixing the songs while they were recording them. And I'm like, I've always done that. So it's just that funny comparison to be like, you're a professional musician who's had access to all this shit the whole time. Dave Grohl's had access to a studio that whole time. He's had so much money to do that, but he's just now doing it. And it's just that kind of, I like seeing people.
Yeah, but it's also a level of proficiency too, where you're inspired to do something, and you finally feel like you can achieve it in the level that you want to produce it at.
But still, that video, it's nothing fancy. It's nothing that couldn't have been shot 10 years ago. It's nothing that couldn't have been done. But at the same time, my point is I like having ideas that other people are having.
Sure.
I like knowing that my ideas, I had that idea before you did. I just wasn't able to execute it, but it is still the idea of like, it's not the whole, I want to claim credit. It's more of like, I like sharing. I like knowing that me and Dave Grohl have a brain wavelength that's like, oh, it's not the same music, not the same style, but it's still you're thinking like I'm thinking, or I'm thinking like you're thinking. Either way.
In discovering something that's new. Did you ever hear the study that was about like the crossword puzzles, where they had the crossword puzzles and they basically had like a secluded group, and they were like, all right, here, do the crosswords, and they were like basically measuring the metrics of like, how fast they could do them and like, how correct they were, because they were given like an X amount of time to do it, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so what they did is unbeknownst to them, after doing that for a week and creating a mean or medium or whatever, they ended up doing it again, but they gave them crosswords that were a week late in the paper, meaning that all the answers were already out there.
Yeah.
People had already done these crosswords.
Yes, I think I've heard of.
And they're
That part might kind of.
it actually like their scores like went up like quite dramatically, like
or it to be out in the
60% or
general
something
population
like
and to be in the collective unconscious or conscious, whatever. You
right.
want to
So it's
call
like
it.
like once the answers are out there, you could just like kind of picking them out.
Yes, exactly, because you're not really having your own thoughts. Everyone
Right,
thinks
this
that
isn't
they're
even-
your
This is from
thoughts.
the Awake State. If anyone's seen that movie, it was actually
I've heard of it, but I haven't.
That's where I'm pulling that quote from. But yeah, that's where it was. Like I think Ethan Hawke was doing. Have you ever seen the Awake State?
No,
or not the Awake State. What is it? Waking Life.
Waking Life. Oh, I have heard of that one. Yeah,
It was like it was kind of done like Scanner Darkly.
Oh yes,
But it was the first done. They actually shot it like on an 8mm.
Yes, it's a really trippy.
It's just conversations.
Yes,
that people animated over.
Yes, that's exactly it too. Yeah, that was a really good one. That was a fucking kind of a mind fuck.
That's also where I got Dream is Destiny. I used to really get into like lucid dreaming and stuff. Studying my hands and like focusing on going into that state.
Oh yeah, or even practicing during the day. Like, am I dreaming? Or like, this is a dream. To tell yourself during the day.
Yeah, what to tell.
Remind yourself, and then by the time you're actually sleeping that night, you'll be like, oh, this is a dream. And then, wake up into it, lucid, do that. I love lucid dreaming. I just haven't done it enough. I used to love the ones where I was like, you could fly. You could literally fly, be in a basketball court with a bunch of people in the high school kind of scenario, and then just be able to fly up to the fucking thing. And, yeah, no big deal. And then Bill Murray's there all of a sudden, and then you're like, oh, wait, no, I'm distracted. Now I can't fly. And then, yeah. I fucking hate snapping out of it.
Just feeling like Peter Pan. And just thinking happy
light as a feather.
Oh my God, I'm up. I'm up.
You're like
I'm
Michael.
up.
Yeah, MJ and fucking Space Jam. Yeah.
I heard they're remaking that movie.
I know. That's why I kind of brought it up, because there's so many memes going around of like, there was like a really fucking strung out Bugs Bunny talking about, he so-and-so talked him into getting clean for Space Jam 2 or something like that. Like LeBron James talked Bugs Bunny into doing it for the number 2, and like just a bunch of memes. I love memes.
Dude, I
follow a bunch of meme masters that are they're on the pulse. They have the and I'm
that's where some of the best comedy's coming from.
Oh yes, and I'll steal the meme, share the meme. I don't ever take credit, but it is the feeling of I love funny shit. I like funny, dark. I just like I like satire. I love The Onion. The Onion is one of my favorites. Talking about some fucking senators got killed by a milkshake or something. And it's the dumbest shit ever, but it's almost absurdist. It's an absurdist kind of thing. There's another page, absurdist memes for nihilist dreams. And that's me. I'm a nihilist and I'm an absurdist, where it's like once you study this life shit long enough, you'll realize that, I should be seeing it as absurd. I should see it as this, or see it what it really is. Like, this is just crazy. This is crazy. It's really crazy that we have this and we can do
like
this.
That
and
Seal song, man.
Yeah, so
we're not going to survive unless it gets a little crazy.
Man,
we're the mold on the sandwich, man.
God damn it, Seal. You sealed the deal for me.
Sealed the deal.
Oh man,
like, dude, I just got in this talk about since we brought up the hot topic button of abortion, I got another hot topic button, which is climate change.
Yeah,
and I'm not here to say, of course, yes, we are influencing change in the environment.
Things are changing.
All right. But then I also see, like, I follow a bunch of space shit, and it's like, it seems like Mars is also heating up.
Yes.
So I know there's no people over there.
Yeah. It kind of seems like the natural process of everything moving towards the sun. Like they've already told me since I was 4 years old. They said that's how it worked.
How selfish are we to even think that the problem could be as small as just this Earth? Like, sure, we're influencing.
That's how crazy it is.
Global warming, but it's like how much? Like no more than like the cattle industry, or something like that.
Well, I mean, but that's us. That the cattle industry is us, because we're the ones that herded them together and kept all their farts together. You know what I mean? Like literally, they're like all the cow farts are really fucking up the ozone.
Yeah,
because you
eliminate the rainforest to put in some.
My dad's a truck driver. He has literally taken pictures of cows on top of cows and sent them to me when he was in Texas. He sent me pictures of just miles of just cows. Not a fucking, you can't not see a cow.
Oh, I've driven by some of those farms. It's crazy.
The cow, like, just so crammed in there. How the fuck could that be healthy? How the fuck could that be not just meeting the bottom line? Meet the bottom line. Got to have more profits. Got to have more money. We got 6 more feet. We could put a fucking cow in there. You get that squeezed in there. I don't care. This is not about humans or humanity. This is about numbers. Numbers. Give me the fucking numbers. I need bigger numbers. These numbers aren't big enough. Why are these numbers going down? Well, they need to go up. Why do they need to go up? Don't we have enough? And it's never enough. We need to go up. Well, when's it going to be enough? Never. Oh, so we're just going to run it into the fucking ground. Yes. So enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Isn't that the goal of most businesses?
Yes.
I mean, like any successful business end up failing.
Yes.
Like besides Disney, but Disney's even failed many
and you're
times.
usually not a
It's that
success
crash and-
unless you fail multiple times.
Yep.
The failures make you finally a success, and it's like the people that never fail, they are not really a big success. They had it handed to them to a certain degree, or they just took over the
They
business.
figured some things out and got some luck.
And I worked with people like that, where the guy, I used to work in a manufacturing, just factory in Corona, and it's like the guy that owned it, he was just the boss's son. He had got his college paid for. He had gone to be an actor in New York. It didn't
I've got some
happen.
crazy
He
experiences with
came
sort of
back
like
home.
that.
He's running a factory that he didn't want to run. His dad's a millionaire. He's kind of a millionaire, and it's like he was just that spoiled rich kid where he never had anything that failed other than his acting career. So he kind of always had that kind of begrudging kind of, but he was still a nice guy. And it was like, oh, I like you too, blah, blah, blah. But it was still, you could just tell the personality of they haven't suffered that much. And this, because they make the biggest deals out of the smallest fucking shit. And then you can tell, oh, if that's a big deal to you, Jim, then what the fuck else is a big deal? Like, and obviously you haven't had much suffering in your life if that's kind of a big deal. To me, oh, well, your house burned down. Okay, that's kind of a big deal. But if you're a person that's homeless, well, that's no big fucking deal. Well, I'm homeless, dude. What the fuck? So it's all these different opinions, different experiences, different kind of shit that I've suffered a lot, so I can be grateful. I can be grateful just to have a pair of socks. I can be grateful just to have this or that. And I've been a spoiled rich kid, too. I know what it's like to have the place up north and the quads and the Jeeps and the this and the that and go on vacations to fucking San Diego and blah, blah, blah. So I like my life and I appreciate my existence because I've had the best of both worlds. I would live with my mom for the week and I'd be rich. Literally upper middle class. Then I'd go to my dad's for the weekend and I'd be poor. Poverty, Kool-Aid, fucking nothing. You're just no pop, no nothing. Drink fucking water out the tap in Durand and get the fuck outside. You're not allowed inside. Get the fuck outside. That's when kids weren't allowed inside. We just weren't.
Sure.
Unless you're going to take a shit or go to bed.
Get outside.
You couldn't even take a piss inside. You couldn't.
What am I supposed to do? No in and out.
Just
no
get
in
the
and out.
fuck outside.
Yeah,
Leave
just
me.
get outside.
That's it. Stay outside. That was it. And then I got oh, my dad's mean. Oh, my mom's nice. Oh, but my stepdad's
All
mean.
the trouble you used to get into
Oh,
because
Jesus.
your mom wanted you to play outside.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. And then now that I have the hindsight, I think back. I'm like, what were they really doing?
Oh, probably
Like,
smoking weed, getting high.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Playing Nintendo, smoking weed, not wanting me to be around it. Just get the
Nintendo's
fuck
a
out.
stretch, kind of, but yeah.
Well, not for me. My mom was my mom was
An early adopter.
Yes, that's why I was an early adopter, because it was like I had a Nintendo, regular Nintendo. My mom got pregnant right around the time Nintendo came out, so that kind of worked out perfect. Like, can you imagine just being a 20, what was she? She had me when she was 20, had my brother when she was like 24. So you're a 24-year-old woman living in a trailer and you just got pregnant as fuck. Your husband's a construction worker, so all the bills are pretty much taken care of. It's like, what are you going to do? There's no social media. There's no nothing. You just sit there, smoke cigarettes, drink Mountain Dew, and play Super
simple
Nintendo.
times,
Just
man.
Nintendo, man. Just Mario World 1, Mario World 2.
Yeah. What was your favorite Super Nintendo game?
I like number 2, Mario World number 2, because just the different aesthetic to it, where they changed it up. And then number 3 is probably my favorite, just with all the different worlds and all that shit. It was between Super Mario World or Mario World 3 and probably Mortal Kombat 3. Always the 3s. I've always had but that's me. That's my little
So
thing.
yeah, where you had like the tail and you had to hit the thing at
dude,
the end. It was the
yes.
best.
Oh,
You
yeah,
had
well,
the
just
warp and the different. Oh man,
It's crazy.
I recently played that game. I recently played Zelda: Link to the Past
Yes.
too. Beat it 100%. You know, I did like everything.
Oh, yeah, it's nostalgic as fuck. It takes me right back to
We went through, played the Aladdin.
yes. Oh
You know,
god,
that was like one of the best Capcom games.
Yes, I remember that too. Now the fucking just the motions and the graphics were kind of different. Where it's not the graphics weren't any better, but it was like
Some of the games are so fucking hard. Like me and my buddy, buddy Damon, like once in a while, like we just end up plugging it in, and we've been playing as in a co-op mode. Donkey Kong.
Oh,
Donkey
God,
Kong.
yeah.
We're actually playing Donkey Kong 2 right now.
Yeah.
And dude, it's like,
oh yeah, it's a lot harder.
or
than I
no, we're
remember.
playing 3, and it's like, dude, we're like, we'll sit there, we'll you know, because we're determined to beat the level, but it's like, sometimes we'll be sitting there for 3 hours just trying to beat one freaking level, and then by the time it's like the next level, it's like, okay, let's go all the way back to the save point, or you're having to struggle through it, and you have 3 levels before you get to a save point.
Yes, or there's
And
not.
then you have to go do that one again because you're just like, fuck tonight.
Yes.
I'm not doing
Yes.
I'm over it. I'm over it.
That's the most nostalgic part because there is no save. There was no this in
Throwing
certain
the
games.
controller on.
Oh
Man.
my brother
Back
cracked
when
me.
you could throw the controller.
My brother cracked me right on the fucking head and made me bleed with the Nintendo controller. It was just that feeling of, you're cheating. You're cheating. I'm like, just because I'm good, just because I'm 4 years older and better at everything than you. Like, I must be. Well, that's it. But I'm 4 years older. I was 8. He's 4. And it was like, every time, man, fist fight. You beat me again. You must be cheating. It's like, I'm just good. I would even have friends my age. Yes, Mortal Kombat. That's all it was. Fist fights over Mortal Kombat.
So my dad is handicapped, and
So was mine.
so they don't really describe it, but he doesn't have any use of his hands.
Okay.
So, but my dad is the one that always had like the gaming systems, and that's where I always went over there and played. And he played with. He'd get like one of those arcade pads, and then he'd play with his feet.
Yeah.
And he'd kick my ass like in Mario Kart and shit.
That'd be
just
great.
we'd go play, and like we had like this little trophy that we'd hand off, and he'd kick my ass all the time, and it's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, it's like, I'm using my feet, son, and you still fucking suck. So,
I mean, I was young as hell, but you know,
but
like,
still,
he's using his feet.
That's it though. That's willpower. That's fucking willpower, really. Like,
My dad had a car when he drove with his feet, had a disc on his wheel.
Yeah.
I remember sometimes driving.
well, some
I'd borrow
people would
his
give
car.
up. Some people would fuck. Oh yeah, I can only imagine that.
Yeah, it'd be like driving, and like I'd let go of the steering wheel and I'd turn with my foot because there's a disc on the floor, and people would just be looking at me like, "What is he doing?
Yes. Oh yeah.
How did he do that?"
These things don't match up. Don't match up.
doesn't-
My brain is the fucking.
And I'm turning left.
Oh yeah, turn their brain to mush, man. That's it though. People don't. But some people would give up. Some people don't. You know, they don't have that fucking. I used to take care of a paraplegic guy. I did that for like 3 years, and it was a little quick thing. I'd go there half an hour a day, a few days a week, help him in and out of the bath, kind of thing like that. So I got the experience of that, and he was the kind of he was a vicious asshole, but he was just down to business. It was brass tacks. Like, yeah, Dad, I need this, I need that. Like, he was just. It was kind of, I almost felt like, man.
Think about how direct you have to learn how to be if you're a paraplegic, and you need to articulate what it is you need and or want.
You're not going to sugarcoat things. Be curt. You're not going to fucking be like, oh, well, Dad, could you please do this for me because I think I might be bleeding under here on a bed sore or something. Like, no, so I learned directness from a lot of different characters in my life, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I don't mean to be so direct sometimes, but it's people like that have had that influence of like, damn, I don't.
My dad used to make wine with his feet.
Yes.
He had gallons of wine that we'd do the pressing and everything.
Yes.
And then we used to go out and we'd pick up like old vacuums.
Yeah.
And fix them up. My dad would clean and fix curtains.
Lose the feeling or what happened?
So they don't really know.
It just happened, kind of thing.
Yeah, basically, there could have been an incident with a gun that like yanked it and cause some nerve damage, and it ended up going over. You know, they said that it was going to go down to his legs and stuff too, but it didn't.
Damn.
So that happened to be like when I was like 2. So
so it's been your whole life.
Yeah, it's been my whole life with my dad.
That's kind of how my stepdad is, because my stepdad's disabled, but he's not like paraplegic or anything. He's just got a really bad leg because he got crushed in between a bulldozer and a semi truck, and then it basically took his 360-pound fat ass and squeezed him into a 14-inch area, and then it blew apart all his quadriceps and blew his kneecap off. And this was in 1995.
How did that happen?
It's a really long story, but I'll sum it up. Like, the fucking semi truck with a bunch of concrete, it was actually, no, the bulldozer was stuck. The semi truck was trying to pull the bulldozer out. So there's this fucking bulldozer. I'll try to get up to the mic. Bulldozer's here, semi truck there, and there's a chain in between them. So my stepdad was going to go and loosen the chain so the semi truck could just leave because it just wasn't working. So he went up to the driver, hey man, I'm going to go back, I'm going to loosen the chain. When you see me in your mirror, you can back up to kind of give it some slack kind of shit. Because he had to go loosen some things and then back it up. And then there's a process to it. It wasn't just, oh, I can snap one chain. You're talking about a big fucking chain to pull out a goddamn bulldozer. So it's like, he went back there, and then by the time he stood up, he said the fucking taillight of the bulldozer was right there. So then it pinned him up against the track of the bulldozer and crushed him in between the fucking back of the semi-truck. And the semi-truck driver said, they asked him, well, why'd you stop backing up? Well, because I couldn't back up anymore. So that was the case. My stepdad getting squeezed in the track here, the fucking semi there, squeezed him like that into a 14-inch area where he was actually choking himself. And that pressure blew his fucking brand new Levi's off, blew all his quadriceps out, his kneecap blew off. And then it would have killed any normal dude. It would have killed any normal dude. They said if you would have been like a 200 average dude, it would have ripped you right in fucking half. So that's how we got our money. That's how I was a little more well-to-do. And that's where I know some crazy experiences. Like I was 8 years old going to Ann Arbor to see my fucking stepdad who had just been flown in on life support by a helicopter. Like, it was gnarly. It was fucking crazy. We were living in Owasso on Dewey Street, right by Hardee's when it happened. He was building Metro Airport in 1995, right down in Detroit. That changed our whole life. Obviously changed his life, but it changed our whole fucking life. That's how we,
absolutely.
you sue people, you take care of things, but that's not what's important. It's like, oh, you lived. They told you never walk again. Well, he's walking. He spent 3 months in Ann Arbor where he had skin grafts. He had 14 different surgeries. He had busted his pelvis in like 10 different places. They're like, you'll never walk again. You'll never do this. You'll never do that. He was up on crowd. It's the willpower. Right. That's what kind of got me into it. That's why I brought up the other guy that I took care of, because he was a willing guy, but he didn't have the willpower to do everything on his own. He didn't want to learn how to drive. He didn't want to do this. He literally wanted to play his video games, and that was it. And he was content with that, and that's fine. He had a really good life doing whatever he wanted, but the other people that have disabilities, the willpower's, it's up to you. My stepdad could have been a lazy piece of shit. Like me personally, I would have got hurt, probably got hooked on oxys or hooked on shit and just fucking died. He doesn't. He's on all the shit, takes it as prescribed, does his thing. He's been on every fucking pill, had every surgery you could imagine. Like, I've been talking to him about putting his story on YouTube. I've been talking to him about actually starting the fucking just a YouTube for him, because he's a adventurous guy and he's doing crazy shit all the time. And he's all hopped up on pain pills and he's out there splitting wood and pulling down trees and just the shit that he's doing up north at the Wildwoods farm that my mom's starting. It's like, there's so much shit that he does every day. So it could be just Ed TV or an Adventures with Ed or Living with AIDS because their last name is Aid, and then I'd incorporate my whole fucking family.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that idea.
But it's just like, it's almost becoming more of a thing that they're kind of into. He's like, I would like to write a book one day. I would like to tell my story, because it's not just an accident story. It's like everything that goes along with that.
Sure.
All the changing of the garments, all the this and that, the relationships, the differences in how you treat each other now and how you're going through this, and to have a partner that's actually going to be there the whole fucking way, or some people that don't. And just the tribulations and the turmoil and everything would be a really good story. And it would be that, hey, maybe you help somebody. Yeah, they got in an accident too and they wanted to give up. And here's a fucking prime example of a person that didn't. Had every right to, had every reason to. You could have gave up. You're never going to do this.
Give up.
But didn't. The willpower was there.
You got to find a reason to fight, man. I mean, every day. It's daily. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, with accidents and stuff. Like, it seems like recently, like, death has been, like, knocking at, like, 3 of my friends in the past week. One, he ended up in a ditch. It wasn't really an accident. Well, I guess it's an accident. You definitely don't end up in a ditch on purpose. Like, he didn't, it wasn't like he totally wrecked his car or anything. He was like trying to back out of a driveway, and the car ended up tilting and ended up in a ditch. And then I had someone else, like, they don't know if they were drugged or what. Their friends were there. Next thing you know, they're gone, and then they're on the road, and they didn't grab their phone or anything, and then hit a pole, like a telephone pole or whatever. Like, I guess the wrecker the next day, like, they went to go get the car, and the tow truck driver started crying because he didn't even, he thought there's no way they should have survived.
Damn.
The car was completely totaled. She didn't have a scratch on her body. Not a scratch. Well, let me take that back. She had a small scratch, but not even like a bruise from the seatbelt. Like, the car was mangled.
Afterwards.
Hit so hard that the car ended up flipping and was unconscious upside down. They had to pull her out when they pulled her out, like, she got a scratch on her knee.
That's
and then
crazy.
Then my other buddy Will, he was like driving, and I don't know like what happened, but he got like aspect. Dude, I looked at the photos. The ass end of his car is just gone, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, it's like, what the hell? And he's like, I think I'm fine. Got a little whiplash, but so all 3 of them were fine. But it's like, dude, what the hell, man?
Oh yeah, and it happens in threes for some dumb reason. Like, that's I like Nikola Tesla talking about that. If you understand 3, 6, and 9, and just things that work in that order, like people dying, celebrities, shit. Usually there's 3 of them. You hear one, and then
boom, boom.
One more, and yep, David Bowie. Oh, okay, and there you go, top of the list.
Sure,
that kind of shit. It's funny the way the universe works like that. Like all the things that work by numbers and the numerology of the system that we live in, or this.
It's all pie.
Yes, I had it.
Remember that movie?
Yes. Oh man, I just had a dream the other night of a guy that wrote it was a dream within a dream about a guy writing a book about how he wakes up and understands that he's dead. but no one else knows it. But it's that feeling of the just like, oh, I'm pretty sure I'm dead, and I'm pretty sure this is heaven. And then just to kind of be like, well, what am I going to do with it? And what's it? Just that kind of realization that you could already be in the simulation almost, or to go to sleep. You think that you just woke up from a nap, but actually you just woke up into another life that you remember it. But it's like, it was just that feeling of like, man, I feel like I could have died and I wouldn't even know the difference. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Of, dying and not knowing the difference. And how would you actually know the difference? How would you really know if it was such a thick illusion, such a thick dream that... So it's just that kind of mind fuck the other day of like, oh, well, this could have already happened and I wouldn't even know it. I could have already died and I still wouldn't know it. It's a mind fuck, but it is a...
Those moments of like sometimes, dude, sometimes I have deja vu so strong, and it's not just like a little deja vu. It's like, whoa, this whole day, and the whole day in the
like
sense of like I've experienced this years ago.
Yes.
And then when that's happening to me, it's like, what if there was a choice that I made today that I'm supposed to make a different choice?
Yes.
What if this was time travel?
Yeah.
Would I know that I was in like if I was to go back in time? Well, how I'd have to be able to carry the knowledge of the future.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And then...
Well, what if you could just go back in time and you're just there? And you're hoping, like the same choice is presented again.
Or you back in time and you don't remember that you just came from the future because you're back in time.
Right, exactly.
And then you kind of lose all the information
so you don't
as
know.
You go back in time, so you don't even know that you actually traveled here. And
you have the choice.
That would be,
like, would you make the same decision?
Yeah, and
you had those moments where you're like, and you're like, you're like, yep, fuck it, or like, no, I'm gonna puss out, or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's like a do-over kind of thing of like the doing it over of like,
would you do it over?
Oh yes, that'd be a good I'm sure there's kind of a movie like that, but it is a feeling of like, oh yeah, let this guy choose, and then he chooses this, and then to see, it's like the butterfly effect, I guess. That's what it reminded me of. He's trying to redo shit, and it's like, well, you still fuck up. You still fuck up just in a different way now.
Man,
or you still tried to save this person, but this person ended up dying anyway. So you still had no control over anything. That's the kind of the point of it. You still had no control, even though you thought you did. So enjoy it.
Right.
Oh, I should have just been Ashton Kutcher the whole time. Like, yeah. Stop with this butterfly shit.
Did you ever see the movie Lucy?
Yes, that is a fucking killer movie.
Yeah.
That is like totally about psychedelics.
right. Well, yeah, she's totally smuggling them.
Well, I'm just like, this is all about psychedelics, waking you the fuck up and making you smarter.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's really just symbology.
So when I went to go see John Wick, that director's got a new movie coming out. And it's called Anna, and it's like very, I think very John Wickish. Like it's very like this.
Like
gorgeous
a female
woman
version of John
gorgeous
Wick
woman, like totally action, balls out action.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like, what do you say? Do you say balls out for a woman? Like, or would the expression be more like
if
tits out?
If they want to be equal, then it's balls out.
Tits out.
Fucking dicks to the dirt. Yeah, I guess. But then some women have bigger balls than men. A lot of women.
That's true.
A lot of women I meet have a bigger dick than I do, and it doesn't even matter.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, they really do. There's a lot of women I respect for that fucking tenacity that they have.
Right.
I went out recently with this woman, and it's like, damn, just the way she handled shit, it was way different. Or even just to be
very
around
forward
different.
Or very curt.
Where I'm a bigger pussy than that woman. I've got a bigger pussy right now, and I don't have the balls that you have. So, yes, that's where I like to know everything's a word. It's not so much of, oh, well, you're saying that, and that sounds mean, or that sounds offensive. There was a fucking comedian just got called Ahmed. He did a show, and somebody in the audience called 911 on him because he did a joke about a terrorist thing and talking about this and that. That's how much I don't give a fuck about these words, because I'm going to make a video on it. It's so fucking ridiculous. The person
he's doing stand-up.
He's doing stand-up.
And he makes a joke. He makes a terrorist joke.
He makes a terrorist joke, blah, blah, blah. And then after his show, the person walks out and calls 911. And on the fucking video that I'm going to download so I can put it in my video, it's the 911 call. It is the 911 call of the person. And he's just like, and it's all nonchalant, but he's trying to like explain it like, well, I was just at a show and I was watching a comedian and he said this kind of joke and it made me feel like this. Like, I'm really, really paraphrasing, but it was that feeling of, what a stupid cunt.
What the hell, man?
What a stupid cunt. What a stupid,
you're at a comedy show.
Yes, but it's
you can't take any of it
And
serious.
his whole justification was, well, I got free tickets and I didn't know what to expect.
That's regardless.
Same thing with the Louis thing.
Yeah,
well, I was
regardless.
offended. I didn't know Louis C.K. was going to be at that comedy club. Well,
Doesn't
it's
matter. You're
fucking
at
words.
a comedy club.
It's words, though. Literally, if you look at what you just did, this guy was
when I
up
go to
on
a
a
comedy
microphone.
club, I'm expecting no holds barred.
But not everyone is. And
Not everyone is. So if it's
these
tamed down, it's tamed
expectations-
down.
These expectations
You know?
are bullshit. It's just a cunt culture. It's literally, this man is a cunt. He's a very big pussy that can't handle some joke. The guy's literally joking. He's not going to start a terrorist organization right there in the comedy club, because that's kind of what it was. The premise of it was, he was asking anybody from the Middle East, anybody, I guess we could start one right now, or we could start, that was kind of the joke.
Yeah, well,
it's a joke.
Yeah.
But it is that feeling of like, well, while we're all here, we might as well do this, and shut the doors and lock them in, like locking all these white people. That's a fucking funny joke. I love watching black comics make fun of white people. I love watching the fucking Middle Eastern people make fun of white people. I like anybody making fun of anybody. It's not this. I just hate the sensitivity. I hate the somebody's going to literally
make fun of each other. Then
you're going to literally call 911 and talk to a dispatcher who could be taking another call, who could be helping someone who needs help, who didn't just hear some vibrations come out of some guy's mouth into a microphone. Oh, well, I vibrated this, and now this guy needs to call somebody, and then they need to talk to him and say, well, that is kind of understandable, but I don't really know what I can do, and I'll have to talk to so-and-so, and we could send a deputy over there if you want, though. Well, yeah, if you could do that, that would be nice.
That's crazy.
What the fuck is this world coming to?
Where was this at?
I don't know. I want to find out. I need to do the research. This is something I was researching to do before I left to come over here, where it's just like, that'll be one of my videos of. That's the kind of shit that gets me fired up.
So you've been shifting, content for your
Not really.
For your stuff,
I'm waiting for something to happen, and I like to comment on things that are happening, and nothing's happening. So I'm really
there's a lot of stuff happening.
There is, but nothing to me in my world of like, this is something important, like a comedian getting called 911 on and blah. That's kind of something to say. Look at this, hold this up. Everything else though, there's no reason to hold up Game of Thrones. There's no reason to hold up James Charles and hold up these fucking people. I don't want to hold them up. I do want to make a video though of, here's this ridiculousness. Look at this. Look at what this guy could have done about it. He could have just went on with his fucking life. Or if he had a problem with the comedian, he could have emailed the comedian, had a conversation with the comedian, said, hey, man, I just would like a better understanding what you meant by that. And then the comedian would probably say, hey, man, I didn't mean to offend you, but here's where it's just a joke. And here's where I didn't mean to.
We're at a comedy show.
But that's the whole conversation that's not happening. And people don't want to have conversations anymore.
No, they don't want to have conversations. They want to be offended.
Cancel
they want to be offended, and they want the attention. Yes. And once they get the attention, then they feel like they have their.
Well, they've been validated.
They got their soapbox.
Boom,
and
we stamped you. You exist.
That's the thing, man. It's like everyone's, dude. It's like, remember like 2, 3, 4 years ago, it was like everyone was all butthurt, and it's only just been getting progressively worse.
It's only going
to worse and worse and worse.
And that's where I see my role. Heck? That's what I've been trying to do, is find my role, and it's the same fucking situation I'm always in. I want to be a comedian. I want to do this, but it's just a patience. I got to be patient. I really do. I have to be patient with myself. I have to be patient with others. I have to be patient with it, compared to being in the rush of like, man, I want to be out doing this. I want to do this. I want to be at fucking open mic nights every goddamn day, every week. I really can't. I need to maintain my house. I need to maintain my relationship. I need to maintain all this shit. So it is that feling of, I'm not going to rush it, but things of that nature that gets me fired up. Yeah, I'll make a video about that.
You gotta do it though. You gotta do it though.
Oh yeah, I've been keeping consistently putting things out. That's about it. It's not a fucking schedule or this or that.
Pause.
Oh. Shit.
So keep telling me the story here. Yeah. So we just had a video. One of the video cams went down.
Tisk.
It's all on Elmer right now.
Oh man.
Or Jeffrey Ross.
Yeah, Jeff Ross in the house. Roll it up. I'm here to roast you. You post it, I'll roast it. Yeah, I thought about that too, like a post roast. Even just to have that, where it's like a weekly show of just like, here's post roast, and Elmer's going over your stupid fucking post. Like, there's been so many people posting some dumbass shit, or even spelling errors. The spelling errors that I see in my news feed, it's so funny because it makes the whole post into something different. And there's a couple people on my news feed who are pretty consistent, a couple white trash people, I should say. And yeah, I know they went to Owasso. I know your spelling's not the best, but it's understandable. Like, what was it today? God damn it. I'd have to read it. Talking about his mom's not a him, or like, it was so stupid. Just about my my tire's not on my car, so my mom's not home, and like just leaving out complete words and phrases that you need to actually convey a message, and to be like, that person thinks they're sharing something. They think they're actually sharing some information you're going to get, and it's just like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Dan's still messing with his video.
Yeah, because like I just deleted it, and then it was like, oh no, you got to go to the deleted folder.
Oh yeah,
and then delete all those. That's why.
Yep. Dan had to change things up. He had to use a different phone, different camera. He could have just been using this one on him, and I could have been using mine. But we want to,
Hey man,
God damn it. What the hell
is what it is. Well, you got a pretty face. What are you so worried about?
Oh, I know. I'm never worried. That's
I can't believe you ran out of things to say.
I never do.
You finally quieted down as soon as the camera goes down.
Yeah. Well, it's like I like the back and forth. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Hey, I'm back.
There we go. Dan's back, everybody.
Hey,
welcome,
guys.
welcome.
Had to do a little
oh man,
sync up there.
Sync up the Maya.
So when I'm cutting this thing, so that is one of the things I've been thinking about, a slight format change though on my vlog. Like I've been,
like what?
Like having it more like, just have like a quick intro of like a little bit more structure of like just the topics that I want to talk about, be able to announce them very quickly, have a very quick intro, and then get into it.
Oh yeah,
and then because I definitely need to continue doing the calls to action, and I think I can just make something really cool and sweet that's just like boom, here's the shit to get to it, because dude, seriously, like the Facebook algorithm sucks so bad, and like that's the other thing. It's like a lot of people didn't know. Like I didn't even know. I had to look it up to see how to get standard.
Yes.
Standard. Like when you think that you normally subscribe to a page.
That's the only reason I do my profile.
It's like, what?
That is like the only reason, because it's just
I know, and you've stated that, but like that's what I'm saying. What I've learned is like how to go through file. A lot of people don't know that like now the default is different than what it used to be. So now you have to go in and edit that, and it doesn't look like it's editable until you are on a desktop, and then you click it, and then boom, and you can do that, and they'll notify you anytime there's a post on your page. Up to 5 posts. So, and I don't even post that much. No, I ain't planning on posting like more.
That's kind of the reason I do post as much as I do, because I know the algorithm sucks. So if I can just bombard your fucking newsfeed, you're likely to see one of them.
You're
likely to see something.
Going live is a big thing.
Yes,
I need to figure out what I want to do. I've been thinking about doing like a live at 5 for 5.
Well, like Gary V, he'll do videos that he's already recorded, but he'll put them out live. So it's like you could be doing your, just like the premiere, blah, 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 but it could be more of an actual, like, you kind of trick them into thinking you're live. Not tricking them, but it is here's the live show, and it comes on at 5, live at 5.
I want to be something, I was thinking about doing whatever I do live. I've been definitely I've been considering wanting to do something that's more interactive. Yeah. So I definitely want to interact. Like if I'm going to go live, like it's like, okay, it can't be a I guess it could.
Well, it's hard because the whole live
it's like
thing,
set up a watch party.
Well, that's it too. Like that's where it's all experimentation, where I'm just experimenting, where I like going live, but I wish people knew that I was going to go live at a certain time. I wish that I could do a Q&A, for example, but to do a Q&A at this level is pointless. Nobody is going to ask me shit. Hardly at all. Maybe my dad. Like, I'm grateful my dad and my stepmom tune into my live as much as they do, because at least they give me topics to bounce off of and throw this out and throw that out. I want the interaction too, but then it's like...
But getting people to interact.
Well, it's like, to do a podcast and do it live where they could interact. That's almost
I wouldn't want to do that.
That's it. But then you take the other thing of, Q&A or with Dan or this or that, or hey, here's my vlog, and then after that, I'm going to be live to fucking do this, where it's here's my show, and now I'm live as well. So you could almost have the control of, like I have the control on the OBS where I could almost go live on Facebook, show you my video, and then I could just switch it to the camera and say, okay guys, now you want Q&A, and let's do this, or here's what I just thought about whatever the fuck, or vice versa. I'm going to take a little quick Q&A, and then we'll go into the video. You ready? Blah, blah, blah. And thanks for tuning in, and blah, blah, all that shit. But the live aspect is, Gary V gives me good ideas, because he is doing it like it's his own broadcasting system. That's where he makes his shows, has all the people do his content, and then he puts it out as, hey, it's my TV time. Here's my time to be on at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, or whenever the fuck I want to.
Well, that's where I was kind of like, so like, well, like I've done my vlogs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Been doing that quite consistently now. Getting ready to approaching 50.
Yeah.
Like 45 is my next one. And I've been thinking, so like now that I got that down, and we're doing podcasts quite consistently, and I've been having conversations with people that are interested in doing podcasts.
Yes.
Getting that to where it's like, okay, well, every Thursday a podcast is going to be released, and integrating a video cut into that podcast.
Yep.
And so doing that, and then that's where I've been thinking like, okay, I've also been trying to at least get a song mastered a week so I can get that up on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And then that's where I was like, I also want to be doing an adventure a week.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of content
Oh, yeah,
to
but
be
it's a lot
produced,
to
but then it's
put on
also
your
like
plate
what I'm
as
doing
well.
every day.
Yeah.
You know, like every day I'm like doing something or I'm working towards
Oh
producing.
yeah, you
this.
want to get a schedule down almost,
Right.
because I'm trying to.
Because like the idea is like
That's
staying
more or less what I'm
consistent. Like
doing.
I want to be able to be like every Thursday.
Yes.
Every Thursday, people know that Dan's got that podcast coming. They just know to expect it.
Yes, what I'm kind of doing, I guess, to be honest, now that I really think about what I'm actually doing, is I'm taking a break because I'm going through all of my content that I've already recorded,
Sure,
and I'm
yeah.
just kind of cleaning out the external, and I'm cleaning out the shit that I don't need, I'm never going to need, and I'm cutting the little...
Defragging the hard drive.
Yes,
baby.
and I'm cutting out the little, like...
the mental hard drive.
Yes, but it is cleaning up my digital life. So then it's... Instead of just keep adding to that
Why
pile...
is past footage so depressing sometimes?
It is, but then to me, some of it is... it's a gem, like that
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
video I
absolutely,
just
man.
released, the "Don't Talk to Me" cover of Gigi Allen. Like that was a video I recorded fucking 3 or 4 years ago. That was right when I moved in my house, and then all I did is I'm like, oh, well, I'll just add the title to it, quick. Oh, okay, I could probably just OBS myself into there. I'll just put a green screen effect on, and I'll turn it black, and I'll do this and record myself lip syncing for 2 minutes. Done. Release that. That's how much thought I put into it. I didn't sit around for weeks thinking, I need to find that one video so I can do this to do that, or thinking even about it for days. It was more or less cleaning out my hard drive. Oh, that's a good idea.
That's how, I mean, that's
And then
how it
boom,
goes.
Boom, boom.
You know, you just find that flow state of whatever it is that you want
Yes,
to
but
do.
I want
as
the
long as you're trying to-
consistency. I want the schedule. Like once I clean up this whole thing, so I'm going to take the next week or two to probably clean up that shit. I won't be posting as much, and if I do, I'm wanting to get to the consistency.
You say that every time, and then you don't.
Yes, but this time I am
you're getting
trying to
addicted
mean
to it now.
Yes, that's where
Every
I need
time,
to,
every the last 3 podcasts, you told me you start off and you always tell me, "Oh, I'm taking a break."
Yeah, oh yeah.
No,
And to
you're
me,
not.
it is a break. To me,
But it's not.
By
You're-
not putting out 25 things, it's like, oh, okay, or not thinking about it so much.
Yeah, but you still are putting 25 things. You're just putting them out on different platforms.
Yes,
so you're putting
that's
10
it.
on one, 4 on another, 5 here.
Yep.
You know,
Take a break from
still-
this one, switch over to that one. Gary Vee tells you to put 150% into Instagram. That's his advice right now. 150% into Instagram, 70% into whatever else you want them on. So it's like YouTube should be about 70% of my time. 150% should be Instagram. But I don't do that according
What kind
to
of fucking percentages are these?
And that's exactly it. That's where it doesn't even make sense, you know. But it's the feeling of that's kind of the almost a metaphor for it. Put 150% of your energy into Instagram right now, and you'll build. I could build these 1 minute clips. I could make funny fucking shit. And while I'm doing that, I'm sharing it to Elmer, Ernest Hall. But then it's going to drive them to the longer formatted shit of like, hey, now you will come to my YouTube maybe once I have something good enough to put up there. It's just that kind of, it's
Yeah, I got to
we're in the-
re-record my intro video.
We're in the game of attention. That's it. We're in the game of attention. So
It's all
if I
numbers,
can,
man.
yes, but it's not even all numbers. It's
Yes,
about the
it is.
value to me. I want the value. Like I'm trying to find value that I'm adding. And if I'm not adding value in that video or whatever it may be, I don't like it. I usually am like, that didn't make me laugh, didn't make me think, and it didn't make me feel anything. So scrap it. If it makes me laugh, if it makes me think, if it's like, damn, that's some good advice, Elmer, I want to put that up.
That's
whether
actually
it's
what I
serious
hear a
or
lot
whatever.
too. It's like they say, I like how you make me think.
Yes.
I'm like, wow. 'Cause
Yes.
I've been noticing, like, with the consistency, I've just been noticing viewership go up.
All it is I grunt and groan different words that you haven't heard yet. And that's it.
They've
And then
all
I
heard
grunt.
they've heard all the words.
They've
They've
heard
heard
all the
that
words.
combination.
That's
Elmer.
exactly it.
Your
That
combination of words.
Yes, the articulation, the combination, and the fascination with the words.
And
is
your
what-
rhyme schemes, bro. They're off
Yes,
the hook.
that's it. But it's a Dr. Seuss. I grew up on Dr. Seuss, so I can get loose and put it in my caboose and then shoot the juice and, gets whatever the fuck you need it to be. It's always, my brain is it's like Eminem. I love Eminem. He's just like, I'm rhyming all the time and I can't stop. Like that's it. My words just come. It's like I don't think the thoughts. I think they think me. I'm not thinking them.
You're tuned into something.
Yes, I'm just tuned in, and I don't know what the fuck it is, and it's not
answers
always
are out
good.
there.
Well, it's not always good. It's not always good. I've been
Elmer's
quite the
antenna's
cocksucker.
tuned.
Yes, well, I did a little bit more. I
So what are
put
you
some
going to
more
do about being
aluminum
a
foil.
cocksucker? Stop sucking cock, man.
Yeah, just
That's
be more.
all you gotta
I'm
do.
gonna suck it a little more gentle, I guess. That's all. I won't stop
So you still
sucking
want
the
to
cock.
be so you still want to be a cock.
Oh, I still, because I'm good at it. It's almost I know I'm good at being a prick. I know I'm good at being an asshole.
Yeah, it's just
I
where
know-
that energy's going. Like,
Yes.
it's like, are you really being a prick, or are you being a prick to exploit a situation to find some humor? But then, what
Because-
are you doing with that? Are you actually
Yeah.
writing down that
Yeah.
joke, and like where are you
Oh,
going?
yeah.
With some of that
That's
stuff,
it.
right?
That's
What's the work? You got to figure out what the work is,
Yeah.
man. Like, half my job, anytime I'm trying to
Teamwork.
figure out what to do, the work is figuring out. All right, well, if I do this, this, and this, then it equals something productive.
Yeah.
And that's all it is figuring out those steps
Oh, yeah. And
to
then-
whatever it is that you want to
yeah.
do.
And half the time I'm figuring it out while I'm doing it, kind of.
Right, that's how you have to do it. But then after you go through it enough, you're like, oh,
I'm jumping.
I recognize now that
Oh, yes.
A plus B plus C, this all equals D.
Oh yeah, but I am jumping with no parachute. I'm building my parachute on the way down, so a lot of the time I don't have time to think about the next fabric to grab. I'm just grabbing more fabric and just grabbing more material and just building this fucking parachute.
Right,
Where
so
I don't
like
even
what we
think-
talk about,
I don't even think about. You can't think about how far you are from the ground. You just have to continuously focus on building that parachute and building that parachute. Because if you focus on that, you might stop building the parachute, and then you're just, oh shit, I'm about to fall. I'm gonna hit the ground in 10 seconds. Compared to, I'm building this with no fucking eyes until I
sure,
can just.
but so like that sounds kind of
feel
contradicting
myself
to what you
floating.
usually say though about self-analysis.
Oh, I'm
and you have to
contradictory.
be able to look at, like, if you're not looking, if you're just creating
Oh,
your
yeah.
work and not going back and looking at it, but what you're saying is you are realizing some things, and like that's the whole point. You're obviously searching
back
now
and
for
look.
what your format is.
Yeah,
you know?
it's still hard though. I could never give you one answer. My
Right.
format's going to be Elmer. That's going to be the format, really. It's going to be like Elmer makes music, Elmer does comedy, Elmer does Instagram, Elmer does
Yeah, but you've been.
spiritual
I was just
videos.
saying you were talking about like doing like certain things on certain days and
Oh, yeah,
stuff
so
like
I
that.
would-
Like that's where it's like, because I
It's
noticed
hard
you
for
have a
me.
lot of stuff.
It's hard. Same with you though. You want to do music, you want to do a podcast, you want to do this. You have
Right, it's
so
trying,
much
that's why it's
shit.
like trying to put it on
Yes.
whatever day I'm doing something.
Yes, and that's a lot of
put
it.
consistency to that day. So
That's
like
how
they
I
know every
feel.
whatever day a week, this is
Yep.
what's coming
Oh
out
yeah,
over
Sundays
here.
could be my grunts and groans. Thursdays could be whatever. Tuesdays with Tater. Mondays are manic and music or whatever the fuck. But then again, I'm so manic, I don't like to fucking go accordingly. Just because I tell myself, oh, you're going to do grunts and groans on Thursday, doesn't mean I'm going to be in the fucking mood. So that's my format. My format is right here, right now. How do you feel right here, right now? Do you feel like doing it? Well, yeah. If I tell somebody else I'm going to do something, then I just stick to it whether I feel like doing it or not. That's really it. That's obligation. That's what obligation means to me, is you're sticking to something that you don't want to do or you might want to do it. So there's really no... it's
Right,
just-
and I guess
that's
I
why
was just
don't
talking
like-
about like production too, like how we were
Yes.
talking about that. And
you
then-
have to be responsible and dedicated to a certain degree to get anything done. So I understand that. But I also like my free flow. I like to be so fucking
Oh, you
open
definitely
and free
flow.
that it flows. It goes and it flows, and I can't not.
You're like a rabbit. You're like I like it slow and steady like the tortoise, but man, you're like a hare. You got like
Yes.
all these little rabbit trails.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
one
it's-
thing just leads this ever wandering forest
Well,
of
and I-
thought and of opinion and contradiction.
Yes, and
of-
how would you sum it up? How would you sum
Of
that up?
what-
if
what?
you had to tell me what format I should do,
Oh no, I know.
What
I
would it
wouldn't
be
say,
like?
what you would have to do, but I would definitely.
No, but that would
I'm
be
saying like
helpful
I
for
would
me.
I would lump your stuff together, meaning in the sense of like, hey man, if you're gonna do all these podcasts, I'd be releasing that podcast consistently on whatever day, you know. And if you can commit to just, it doesn't matter when you record it, but if you release it that day,
Oh, yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
That's
so
what
it's
I've
like
been-
that way you can have, you know. But see, like, so that's the thing. That's what I guess that's what I'm going through my own process of eternalizing and evolving my format and realizing like, okay, well, what is it that I'm producing? What is it that I want to produce? And where is it that I'm going with my content? And when am I getting in the van and all
Yeah.
these things?
That's
right?
why I generalize
But it's like
it.
if I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday now, and I got that completely down in my system, you know. So it's like, all right, no matter what, I'm doing this.
yeah, it's just a habit.
So now on, what else can I be doing on those days? So I definitely want to do an adventure video. Okay, well, do I want that adventure video also posted on one of those Monday, Wednesday, or Friday?
Oh, yeah.
It should probably be a filler day, right? And then it should be, but it also should be like, oh, well, I'm looking at like, when's my audience even online? And just,
Yeah, there's
and
so
that's
much
not,
shit to
and
look
that's
at.
not necessarily in what. That's where it's like, it's not to create the content, it's
Yeah.
to get it out there.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's like, when's the most appropriate time to get it out there or do whatever?
Oh yeah.
It's
And that's
not
a
even-
lot of the thinking. There's so much thinking and so much doing, and there's so much of that where I.
Well, that's what I'm
You
saying.
know,
The
it's
format
hard.
isn't anything other than like what you're just saying, like doing like
Well, that's why I
Tater
sum it up,
Mondays,
like-
doing a
Oh, yeah.
podcast on Sundays, you know, whatever, doing this podcast
Yep.
and this get, you know, so because we're doing video now, it takes me
Yeah.
a bit to edit.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I need a couple days because
Yep.
I usually, you know,
Oh yeah, it would take a while.
Takes about 2
to
hours.
to go through a fucking hour and a half or 2. Oh yeah, but that's why I simplify it. Like when I'm on my Instagram, I'm content creator. I'm nothing else, and then video creator on my Facebook. It's like video creator, podcast, comedian. That's about the order I go in. I create videos more than I podcast, and I podcast more than I'm a comedian. And then on my Instagram,
I think what it should just be personality.
Yeah,
and comedian.
But I'm just saying, like, out of the options they give you, you can pick like public figure, you could pick actor, I could pick things of that nature. But
Public figure.
I know.
A figure in the public.
I guess, yeah, I got to figure it
You're
out.
definitely a personality.
Oh yeah, that's my. That's what I got going for me. That's where I do boost myself up, and I'm like, hey man, your personality's great. You can ramble on like a fucking, like with the best of them. So
Stay unique. You know what everyone else says is it too, like my annoying voice.
Oh god, yeah. Every
They
fucking
love
time,
my
man.
voice.
Every video.
They're like, they're like, but you always sound so excited. And I'm like,
that's it.
hey,
You give them the illusion that you're actually excited.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Let's go on an adventure. And fucking yeah. It's excitement though. It is the inflection, and but it's the psychology.
What are you gonna do? Tell me, Elmer.
Well, I'm going to.
What I really want to know is,
out.
tell me now.
Yes. Well,
And he's always pointing that character. I'm
yes.
trying to tell
It's
you.
always-
and it's like almost like interjecting.
Yes.
It's like constantly like that's what it is. And it's like,
well, let me-
here's my thought because of this. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's
dude.
exactly what it is, man.
Yeah, I was watching.
And then it's like when it's like you have to correct when I have to correct myself or something. Then it's where it's like that. Oh no, Dan, no. Let's tell you what it is. This is probably what it should have been.
Oh yeah. Oh god, man.
That's about it. Those are just my go-to voices because to me, like that's who's in the room when I'm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's it. I did an actual interview like that with myself yesterday, where I haven't posted or anything, but it's like I just pretended someone's interviewing me and then asked me the questions I would want to ask myself, and
Nice.
it went kind of good, like looking at it and shit. But it's still that fucking.
I'm gonna have to show it to you before you leave because that's how I started off this last adventure video.
Yes.
It was like a conversation with myself.
Well,
So
yeah,
I had to
because
talk to myself.
I have watched so many interviews in my life that it's more or less like, well, you never actually hear the question. A lot of the time, you might get a title, like a little credit scene that tells the question or whatever the fuck. But a lot of the time, you don't even hear it. You don't even see it. The person just starts speaking, and there's the answer, and then you get what the fuck they were talking about, or you get what they were actually asked. Oh well, yeah. What I do think about psychedelics is actually this, and oh well, the education of them. Well, yeah, you could use it in this way, and blah, blah, like that kind of shit of just having a literal conversation with your own fucking self.
Sure. That's what I
That's
did,
all
man.
I do. That's all I'm doing all the time, though. Like, there's always just one person in the room, even though there's two, even though there's three, even though there's whatever. There's still just people love hearing the sound of their own fucking voice. That's why they love talking. That's why, it's
Not everyone.
Not everyone, but once you do it enough, you start to love it. I never liked the sound of my own voice. Never.
Oh, sure,
I
sure,
never,
sure.
never,
Yeah,
never. And then
that's
singing.
still something to get used to.
Singing
isn't
for
it?
years in a band, singing on stage in front of people. It broke it down, then talking, and then being a comedian, or then trying to just do a podcast or whatever, where it's your voice, blah, 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 da, 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 and get used to it, though. Like, I love hearing it right in the center. When you can really hear your voice in the center of your fucking head, like it's in your third eye. There's certain places I hear
Same
my
with writing
voice.
it down, man.
Oh, yeah, it's
Get
like-
that inner voice cranking on the things you need to do.
My writer's voice is a lot more professional. That's
Sure.
it. My writer's voice is way more professional, way more clean cut, where, yes, obviously you can edit, and it's just a way more, it's like you think I'm articulate here? Fuck. I can write some good shit. I'm just lazy. I'm lazy as fuck. I really don't like writing. But I do like Elmer's writing voice. It is that when you read it out, if I was writing and if I was reading it out loud, I would be way more professional. So that's where I could impress some fucking newscast or
There
this
you
or
go.
that.
Get
where
a
it
little
is,
teleprompter. You're looking right in that lens.
That's
and
exactly it.
Reading your preppies.
The OBS has a teleprompter right in it that already has a thing where I could fucking load in a script. I could do this and that and have a script fucking scrolling right in front of me while I'm doing my shit. Oh, yep, monitor. Da, 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 da.
Sure.
But it's like that kind of shit. I could be a
Do you
talking
want to
head.
take it to that level?
It would be fun. It would be really fun to just be a dummy.
But could you dedicate the time that it would take to do that legwork? You're kind of like in the
hard.
heat of the passion of
Oh, yeah.
like, hey, what I want to bleed through is the authenticity and stuff.
Yes.
While knowing that I could produce something if I wanted to produce it, but you're not putting the time into producing it.
Nope, not at all. That's it, because I don't.
Like,
That's
when
what
are you
I like
going to
about
make this
Abigail.
video? You're talking like, I'm going to make this video.
Yes.
It's just going to come out.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That video.
Put a date on it, bro.
Oh, yeah. That one will be out tomorrow then. The
There you
fucking
go.
talking shit about a med. That one. And then the fucking interview video, I don't know. That one's like, I ask myself some good questions, but then, you know, because it's nothing I don't talk about already, though. That's the kind of feeling. I enjoy talking about sex. I enjoy talking about drugs. I enjoy talking about music. So it is the typical sex, drugs, and rock and roll cliche bullshit of like those topics I could talk about forever. I could tell you all the goofy sexual experiences I've had and all the different kinks and different things and things that I find funny about how humans fuck. Super interesting, super kind of crazy and creative. And then music. Who the fuck couldn't talk about music, especially being a musician, and talk about all the bands that have influenced and I hate and I love and blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, just drugs. Drugs have changed so many fucking things. Drugs have had so many.
So they say it always comes back to, you know, are you an Elvis fan or a Beatles fan?
Both.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, I like Elvis
You
and
don't
the
prefer
Beatles.
one or the other?
I don't prefer.
I mean, I like them
don't
both,
prefer.
but I definitely prefer the Beatles.
Yeah, I probably do prefer the Beatles. I just don't really like the Beatles. I don't like them or not like them, and I don't like Elvis or not like them. I just know they had their time and their place. They
And their
served their
influence.
purpose. They had the influence. Sure. I'm influenced probably by both, and I don't even
Absolutely
know
you
it.
are.
Don't even fucking know it, and even if I do, it's like,
So I
wow.
always like that about music, where you end up looking at a band and then you're like, oh, that's really just this band plus
Yes.
this band with a little bit of that.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
it equals
It's like,
Black
oh,
Sabbath,
exactly.
and then the Black Sabbath plus this equals that band now, and then because music's not that fucking complicated. It seems complicated. It can be. It obviously is, but you're all playing 12 different notes, just in different octaves.
Yep,
that's it.
it.
There's 12. There's 12 notes you can possibly play, and yeah, different octave this, different octave that, different tuning, whatever. But it's still. It's simplistic. And then, like, I've been watching Rammstein. They're releasing new album, new videos, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a video of why is Rammstein so popular? Because they're just boring. They play boring music. It's very boring riffage, very boring, simplistic, repetitive. The German grunting is more percussive, so people like to hear that, and the vibrations.
Sure.
And just all these different...
like-
it's all opinion shit, but it's still
but I
kind of
also
funny.
think that simplicity is what has always been the most marketable.
They want it to
simplicity
be
is
that.
what you want. You know, it's what has the widest reach, and it also can be some of the
hard
most
to be simple, though. Like, as a
Exactly.
musician, it was hard for me to write simple music. It really is. It's hard to want to just play 4 chords for 10 minutes.
Sure.
It just is, because you want to be special, or you want to show your talent. And it's
Right.
like, no, your talent is playing that song for 3 minutes straight, the same thing. And then the last 15 seconds, you get your little...
Right.
And that's it.
Sure.
That's what a professional does. The fucking jack-off 15-year-old, he just wants to go...
This is the riff.
And he can't do anything
It's a
but
solo.
that. That's what my mom always bitched about. She's like, son, you're playing your drums, but if you could just keep a beat, that would be fucking impressive compared to the and like, yeah, I'm playing kind of a beat, but it's not anything consistent. It's nothing
Right.
that I can.
Again, it's the simple stuff
Yes.
is that, and keeping it in a beat is what really makes a professional.
And
It's
I didn't learn
taking
that for a
something
long
that's,
time.
really cool. And
Yes.
having to control the spot where you want to put the note or whatever.
To have
Yeah, I
the
don't have any of that.
dedication, I think it takes dedication to keep, like, because Rammstein's a perfect example. Me as a musician, I was telling my girlfriend this earlier. I was like, you see these guys? I'm like, they kept it simple. You know how hard it would be for me to do that? And that's why you have to have side projects, because to be in Rammstein and come and play boring riffs, even though it's not boring, it's cool music, but that would be hard. Yeah, okay, Richard, or okay, so-and-so, play that same riff over and over. It's the same riff, and then this guy's playing the same guitar as you. There's really no different. Oh, a little bit of a lead. That would get boring compared to pushing yourself and wanting to do more and wanting to add more. I respect Rammstein for not doing that, not adding more, not doing it. The same thing with AC/DC. If that drummer wouldn't have been as simple as he was, it wouldn't have been as good.
Right,
So
and that's what it
the
takes
simplicity is a beautiful thing in music.
And a lot of times it's like some of the hardest things to do.
It's hard to play slow tempos.
Well,
It's hard,
I just
for
mean
me.
I just mean to like to get it to simple.
Yes.
You know, like to take something that, you know, you might have a lot of stuff in, or, you know, it's
Those
like
are
what
my
to
best
eliminate.
songs. My best
you know,
songs
how
are
do you
simple.
just, you know, sometimes it's just really hard to pull back.
That was my problem in metal bands, because I'd be in a metal band with a guitarist that wanted to shreddy Kruger over everything. And it was like, dude, if you would have just dun, 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 dun,
Get that chug on.
that chug or whatever, and then let this guy do that, or do like
Jet clock.
yes. And that's where it's like knowing the roles and knowing the part that you play. It does help. And then same thing, you know, it's just, I respect that a lot. I respect that a lot about a lot of musicians, where they can keep it simple. And I never knew that. I've only learned that in the last like 8 years or so.
Right. Isn't that funny how like when all of a sudden you get that epiphany? Because they come less and less as we get older.
Yes.
There were those moments of like, oh, that all makes sense. It's like watching a movie that you haven't seen since you were like 10 years or whatever, or 5 years, and then you watch it and all of a sudden something just clicks. Or you've been hearing that phrase your whole life. In fact, you've used it, and then all of a sudden...
Now you understand it.
No, I know what it means.
I never actually knew what that meant. I've been taking it this way the whole fucking time.
Yep.
And it was really actually that. Like,
Yep.
what?
Wow.
And if I would have known that,
Yeah, it's crazy,
it would have
right?
saved so much.
It's amazing how that works though, like that, because I think like we have those moments a lot younger, and then they just become less and less and less, or it just takes that much experience to do it, or that much exposure.
Well, or you're too close to it. A lot of the time, you're too close to it, and you can't see it. Like I'm too close to the music. I'm too close to my song. I want my song to be complicated. I want my song to represent this, and it's like, well, stand back and just throw down a simple bass line. Okay, and now go from that simple bass line instead of that crazy complicated guitar you had. We'll add that maybe, but it didn't need it. And now you got something completely different, a completely different song. But check it out, you still did a song today. You still got something done. You still were productive.
Yeah, I just totally like all that stuff. Whatever it is, like as soon as I come up with like, here's a new riff, and I'm going to start playing. And lay down. Oh
yeah, it's the writing, recording process of like this is writing.
If I keep it simple, like that's the best part. It's like. I get to make it complicated with different instruments.
Yes, I can.
It's not
add
the guitar that's standing there. It's like, oh, here's this. The piano's doing this piece, and then we're gonna add a little.
Well, I like adding simple layers of like
here.
Yes, here's that fucking drone. Oh, the whole time. Oh,
dark and ominous.
I love dark and ominous. I just like dark music. I use music as a vehicle for my negative emotions. That's pretty much it. That's where I want to stop using my videos for vehicles of negative emotions. I want it to be more of like, well, I can let things out and be frustrated as Richard Tate, or I just don't want to take it serious. That's really what I don't like about.
Exactly.
I don't like about my videos lately. I don't like me being so serious. I don't like being so serious and thick in this shit like it's real. I'd rather be like, nah, nothing's real, and then fucking don't kill yourself. Just stay in it and we'll be okay. Like I don't want to be that. I don't want to be serious. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't. Yeah, I don't want to take myself too seriously at all. I know, like, I don't take myself too seriously at all when it comes to music. I'm not out there to. I want people to enjoy it and feel free to comment on it, but other than that, I'm not looking to make a career out of it. I'm not looking to be like I'm not looking to be like my ego be like, yeah, I'm a fucking musician. I'm in a band, and then I'm like, who are you in a band with? I'm like, just myself. Yeah, I play all the instruments. No, I barely play any of them. Favorite. I stumble around. I place things. I work. They're literally just thoughts and ideas that come out. They're whatever I'm working through, man.
It's fun to do, and it is an expression.
It's therapy. It's total therapy. It's a vent. Like there is nothing better than even if I couldn't keep a beat, getting on the drums and just till your arms are fried. You're just burning, and you just like feel that release of like, or your fingers are hurt because but that's the thing. It's just, but now it's like, I don't play often enough to where it's like, if I'm going to sit down and play something, I might as well record it because I'm never going to remember whatever I come up with. And every time I sit down in front of the guitar, when do you not come up with a riff that you think's cool?
Oh yeah, that's it. If you sit there long enough, you will come up with cool shit.
So it's just start going.
That's exactly it. That's why I like the freestyling and shit. But I don't play as consistently as I used to. But I have my drum set up. I got everything set up where it is you're pissed off at your girlfriend. Oh, go beat the drums. Oh, you can't handle this. Oh, go do this. Or like the other night, I needed to play my fucking guitar. Just needed to. Something told me,
that itch.
Plug that, play it in, do this, do that. And
it's the thing, man. When you get that itch, you got to scratch it, especially if it's a creative scratch.
I just have so many itch. My whole body is covered in creative itches, and I can't stop. I have to stop though. I have to slow down. I think
you just need to find the structure.
I know, but the structure is Elmer. That's what sucks. Like
it doesn't suck. It just
but it's it doesn't suck for the people not in it.
I guess I don't understand. Like and it's like to me like the concept of let's go back to a band. Why is it? It's not like a. Just because you got the album done doesn't mean that it's got to be out right away. Like people would put this deadline. It's like, it's going to be out. It's like, no, sit on it for a little bit. Like you can come up with whatever plan you want. Just because you have it doesn't mean that it's got to be out. It's it's like
that's what I mean by slowing down. I guess
sit and release. Come up with it like a structure to schedule. It's like
I like to do that, and it's
like I'd like to get scheduled enough to where it's like, hey, I know that my vlog is done by this time every day, and then every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at
noon
Yes.
or 1, it's posted.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the consistency of it, and then people get used to it, and then that's it.
That's why it's like all right now I'm trying to do is like, hey man, if I can get it up by, I try for 3, but sometimes it's not even up till 4.
Oh, yeah.
Very rarely, but.
Yep.
So, but I've also been adding more to my vlogs. Like that's the thing. I've been really kind of considering like where I want to go. I'm spending more time on the podcast. That's fine because it's like they're not going to be live anyway. But I don't want to spend too much time editing either.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to take away doing something switching live because to me switching live would be taken away from the conversation, the interaction, the engagement that I'm looking to have
unless
with my
we
guests.
could have somebody else help us, and they were just boop boop boop.
Well, again,
you know.
I'm always going mentally on like, how am I still going to produce on the road?
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
like what will this
you're
show
gonna need
evolve
people.
to? And
That's the reality of it. You're going to need people if you want to take on that kind of workload and get it as accomplished as possible compared to burning yourself out.
that's also where I think
when you're the only one that edits.
But that's where I think like I'm the guy that's like, oh yeah. Oh,
I'm just saying when you're the only guy that's been shooting all day, and then now you don't get to go take a nap. You get to go fucking edit, and then after
I'm usually
editing,
excited
you get,
too.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying the reality of it. Not trying to burst a bubble. I'm just saying the reality of let's go shoot 8 hours, and then let's go edit for 4 hours, and let's go do this, and then try to sleep, and then try to do that, and then try to get to where you're at.
So
Where
you know
you're
this
gonna-
is you know
we're
what's
gonna
funny. What's funny is like
We're gonna need
you,
at least one more person with us.
But Elmer, I like that's the thing.
Somebody.
I don't shoot like you.
No,
so
you
when I
shoot
when I
more-
have my content, I'm like I almost use 95% of the shots that I
Yeah.
take. Like I don't overshoot
Yeah.
because it's like I need 7 to 10 seconds in a take.
Yep.
And between all that, I just keep on getting all these
Yep.
and try to find some good compositions. And like I have, okay, I remember we talked about this. Okay, I need a long, medium, and a
I
close
just
up
take
of
the
that.
Gary Vee approach though, where anything could happen at any moment, so you might want to be recording all the time.
Yeah, sure, but that's
just
if
for
you got guys.
That's just for my content, though. Just for my idea.
Yeah,
of
but
it,
that's if
where-
you got guys too. I mean,
Oh,
like,
yes.
trust me, I'd love to have
Oh,
you
yeah.
come over and just film me like do a song.
Yeah.
Like what's Dan's
But that's
what's
the shit
Dan's
that we
process
could
to
be
do a
doing.
song?
That's the shit we could be doing, though.
Yeah,
that
I'm down for
if
that
you,
shit.
You know, if you don't take advantage of me, then you don't take advantage of me. That's it. Like I want to take advantage of you. I want to take advantage of people and you. And you got this. You got that. That's why I said my one grunts and groans like. Yeah, me and Dan have a good friendship. Whether we're in it to just use each other or not, I don't know. We'll find out. But it is that feeling of, yeah, we can help each other. We're creative. You're creative. We're like-minded people. Oh, you like that music? I like this music. Oh, we can relate on that.
Well,
but then it is
thinking-
a scratch your back, you scratch mine, where I know the reality of you going on the road by yourself. Well, yeah, you can do that. It's going to be fucking hard. It's not going to be easy. If I were to go do all that my shit by myself, it's going to be, I could do it. It's just going to be fucking hard. And
Crazy
It's going to
hard.
be fucking crazy hard. And
Insane.
it's the reality that I'm going to need a team to execute what I want to do. Whether it's a sketch comedy show, hey, welcome to Elmer's World. It's a weekly show where I just fucking go crazy. And here's a sketch comedy and sketch this and fuck this idiot and fuck that person. And you're a cunt.
That's
You
what I'd
know?
like to see, dude. Can you just?
That's
I
what
want
I
you
would
to
like
set
to
up a
see too,
sketch.
though.
Set up a sketch.
Oh yeah, and I have to. That's
I want
where,
to I just even if it's like this interview with yourself, I don't count that as a sketch though. unless
No,
you're
but I
thinking
want to
it
get
is,
more
but-
sketches, and that's really it. Of like, I'm trying to be patient with myself because I don't want to just be a podcaster. I don't want to just be a comedian. I don't want to just be a YouTuber. I want to kind of have the mix of all of it, but I have to find my pace and I have to find my, the
Find the stride,
schedule,
man.
all that good shit. But it is the stride of it, but it is the reality of, fuck, if I want to ever be producing the way I'm going to want to produce, I'm going to have to make connections. I'm
Sure.
going to have to know a guy who's willing to edit for me or willing to do this for me, or I'm going to have to be willing to do this for him so then he can do that and we can, okay, man,
Go to barter, yeah.
I'll mix this and master that for you if you do this and shoot this video for me. Oh, you help me do that, I'll help you do that. I'm realizing that. It took me years to realize that I need people. I really do. As antisocial as I can be, I've really come off my high horse and I'm like, I need people. I'm going to need somebody. Even if I am a comedian going and doing open mics by myself, it would be nice to have somebody come with me.
That's where
It'd be
like
nice to have
doing
something
videos,
to
man.
fucking,
Yeah. just to bounce ideas off of.
Please hold this. Please do that.
Please hold this.
That's
Jesus.
it.
I was thinking
That's
about that
it.
on the road. Like it's like, hey man, okay, I'm gonna
Grab
drop you
that
off
for
and I'm
me
gonna
real
run
quick.
back around the block
Yes.
so you can get a shot of me driving by.
Yes.
Just like this. Cool, we got that.
But I'm going to have to leave a tripod out there, set up a camera, hope it doesn't get stolen while I'm
Yeah.
driving
Or
the
the
van
wind
by
doesn't
myself.
knock it over.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
dude. So many different.
well, that's it. But it's simple shit like that. I'm trying not to be so close that I can't see it. But it's oh, fuck. I don't like editing. I'm going to need an editor. Oh, fuck. I don't like doing this. I'm going to have that. Like, That's just reality of it. I could learn how to do it. Yes, I've learned editing, but it takes up too much of my time. Well, I would want to be.
It does. It takes time to become proficient at it.
Yes, and it's something that I don't want to be
So
proficient at. I just want to know enough how to do it. It's really Gary V's advice. Know how to do what you're about to hire out for, so then you can at least know if they're doing a good job or not. So if you know editing,
or you at least know what it takes,
well,
be like, oh, okay, cool, that's better than me.
Yes, this one chick was talking about how she's like, well, I hired somebody to hire my social media or to work my social media for me. And she's like, but I don't know anything about it. So then, but I'm not really getting the response I want. And then Gary Vee's like, well, if you don't know anything about it, she could be really doing a shitty job and you wouldn't know the difference. So you might want to learn about it for yourself. Take 5 hours a day for 6 months and learn the shit. And then you will fucking know if somebody that you hire is actually doing it adequately or not. You know, I could be a social media guy. I could be going posting good pics for these people and I've got an iPhone. It doesn't take much. Like for the kind of quality that a lot of businesses put out.
Sure. Not
to bash any, but like the Venue 219. Their quality of the content they put out is not that good. It could be better if you had a millennial come in there and just say, hey, let's do this and take a shot of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
just a millennial mind. Just in general, that's one little trip.
And they don't know until they know. And that's the whole thing. I mean, that's how I used to book most of my business. I just go in and be like,
go and hand them the fucking promotion you just made for them outside in the parking lot. And then they're like, whoa, you just made that in 10 minutes? You're like, yeah, it actually took me an hour. But
with my phone. You want something better or does this work?
Yeah, wait till I actually use my professional gear.
500.
Yes. That's exactly it, though. Giving the people, there's so much shit out there. I just don't want to. I like the sketch comedy, though. I like the sketch comedy idea of I could see myself not being a Dave Chappelle, but to a certain degree where you're going sketchy and you're doing,
just say, even if it's like you end up doing like your vlog or whatever, and it's a little in between. It's a little segment. It's just a little.
Yes, where it could be.
What the hell is this? And you probably come up with like a bunch of different things. I remember things that would get me inspired were like those 5-second short films and stuff like that. It was good stuff.
Oh yeah, so it'd be cool to do like as professional as I could do it, pull it off where it's like, Elmer's World Show or whatever the fuck it is. It's every Friday or Saturday or Sunday or whatever. I like weekends. I don't see enough content on my notifications on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, my problem is like I don't necessarily want to be stuck creating content. I don't want to commit myself to that weekend.
Yes, that's exactly it.
I want to be out because I'm already doing content that weekend. Like my goal is like, okay, well, it's the weekend. It's Saturday. I better be out on an adventure.
Well, mine would have to be. I'd want to treat it just like SNL and just like everything else. You're doing the practicing and rehearsing, which I would be shooting Monday through Friday or Sunday through whatever.
Yeah, and then it would be Saturday, Sunday.
Well, yeah, it would be the same thing as the South Park shit. You're writing for these days, doing this, doing that. It's going to be my show, and then what the fuck do I want in my show, and then who do I want, and blah blah blah. It's like, but. And that's just an idea. It's not the actual sole dedicated route that I want to take. Like, it sounds really nice. It'd be cool. It'd be fun.
Figuring it out, man.
But it is that feeling of, it'll be fun because I like sketch comedy. I love acting. I'm learning more about, I like playing characters. I like being Richard Tater. I like being some fucking goofy ass piece of shit. Just
we definitely got a lot of characters there in Elmer's world.
Oh, it's great. Man. Well, it's fun. Well, I kind of like. Well, my name's Jimmy, and I'm kind of or you get like, oh yeah, I'm Frank Johansson. I was up in Quebec, Canada, and I was I was drinking some maple syrup. And
what you talking about?
I was up at the Tim Hortons, and I tell you, they have the finest women ever. Like. They look like polar bears, but they fuck like gorillas. And I will tell you what. Okay, thanks, Frank. Oh, yeah.
So all the characters, and you can experience all the characters at Elmer Ernest Hall.
Christ. Yes.
Elmer's World. Just type it in your Google.
Yes.
Just type it on in
Join me. Come take a peek inside my brain. That's it. That's all it is I'm a brain.
It's organic flow.
I'm a brain. I'm a fucking
Elmer's
brain.
Organic flow.
Yes, I'm a brain, and that's all it is everyone's a fucking brain, but it's certain ones are different. That's it.
Yeah, they all got different mouths.
Yes, and different vocal cords, different face to deliver it through.
Different ideas.
Yeah. See, I don't know what time it is, so I've got I can't see. I can see that far.
Just like, time to express.
Literally, I can see that far, and then everything's a blur after that.
That's right. You're out of contacts.
No contacts, no glass. So driving here, that was fun as fuck.
What are these? Are these just reading glasses?
Just fucking regular fake ass bitch glasses.
They're not even real?
Not even real. They're the girlfriends.
Oh my God.
It's just a fashion statement. It's to give you the illusion, like
Okay,
cool.
you're living a Snapchat filter.
Yeah.
And they're exactly what makes you look like Jeff Ross. You put those on and it changes. It's crazy.
Oh, that's what's crazy. And then put a mustache on, or put a beard on, or throw some earrings in, and then you change this, or I love fucking with the illusion. I love playing the game. Play the game.
Like Kids in the Hall.
Well,
Elmer dressed in drag. Just a Snapchat filter. No, it's not. You put those hills on.
Oh man, that's exactly it too. That's where my girlfriend made a good thing about Rammstein today. She's like, I like how they aren't that serious, where you can see these guys, they're in a music video and they're putting on these silly costumes and they're playing these roles, and they're 55-year-old men and they're 50-year-old dudes. Sure. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a certain way just because you're a certain age. And that's what I think the artist is different than the normal person. An artist almost knows that you have one ego to play with, but you can play with a bunch if you want to, that you're not dead set on only being one personality. The artist, whoever that is, film, movies, music, this, you have a different understanding of you can be everything because you are everything. I don't have to be a cynical fucking asshole. I could be a nice spiritual loving guru, and I could tell you all the nice magical things about consciousness and why you need to maintain yourself and focus in the now and blah, blah, blah. Or I could say, you fucking crackpot, stupid fucking bitch, da, 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 give me some more cigarettes and Mountain Dew, and you better goddamn take that back so I can get some more lottery tickets, okay?
Gotta get them lottery tickets.
Give me that dip and give me that chewing
tobacco.
tobacco.
I sit down at the bar and I see guys just plow through the lotto.
Yes, that's it, man. You got your 18 pack of Bush, and you got your fucking carton of Marlboro or Pall Mall. I need some Pall Mall, I need some Bush or some Natty Light, and give me about 10 of them scratch off $2 tickets. I'll take a $10 one.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah. Oh, if I win, I'll give you some. You're never gonna win, sir. You're a fucking loser. Well, yep. Yeah, you're right.
I guess I am.
I'll be back tomorrow. You're like, that's right. Yep. Thanks.
Actually, I did a lot. I'm just going to go scrounge up some more change in my car.
There was people that would come in. Working at a gas station gives you a little insight into humanity, especially working at a shitty gas station. And it was here's a good gas station, here's a shit one. I worked at the shit one. All the shitty people come to the gas station that's the shit one. All the good people, not even good people, but the more cleanly people. And then I get to hear all the fucking... It was just nuts. You'd have gamblers, you'd have the fucking crack addicts, you'd have people bring in fucking bottles that smelled like cleaning products, like meth and shit like that, where it's just like...
Coming in at 3 in the morning, buy their Charboy.
Yes,
dude, that was absolutely... I used to work, I think I used to work third shift 7-Eleven in the middle of Saginaw.
Yes,
so
that's fucking nuts.
Absolutely no. Right
so
next to...
you got plenty of good stories right there.
We had to lock the beer cooler at 10.
Yeah. Yes.
It was crazy because people would steal beer.
Oh, yeah.
It was just everything. Everything was insane.
That would be
and I was the only one that worked.
Well, yeah, but you see the human condition and you get to see human behavior.
I told you the story about the lotto ticket.
I think so. You might have.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, dude.
Dude, it's been an hour and a half.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We already did it, man. We're like 10 over.
We just go for 3 hours now. I don't care.
But refresher.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good story. I want to. If I'd already told it, then I already told it. If not,
okay. That's no big deal.
I want to share that story. That's a good. We'll have to get back into that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. Where then it's like once you tell me a couple
she told
more
me
words,
that she told me she's like, who's got that white car out there? Those are some lucky numbers.
No, you didn't tell me. I don't think so.
Oh my god.
No. So
all right. So I guess here it is. Here's the closing story.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. So we're gonna have to 7-Eleven this. I'm there and I'm like working like the day shift. I'm covering for somebody, and she comes in, and she's like, "Oh, whose car is that out there? That white car? That's got some lucky numbers." And I'm like, "The white car?" She's like, and I'm like, "The Escort?" She's like, "Yeah, those are some lucky numbers. You better play those numbers."
Oh my god!
Just totally like being like, and I'm just like, "Yeah, okay, lady," Yeah. And then I'm also closing that night, so I'm like working a double. So like I changed the boards. I'm like the only one there now. And it's like 10 o'clock at night or something, and I get a phone call, and they're like, "Is that boy there with the white car?" And I'm like, "Yep, that's me." She's like, "Oh, did you play them numbers?" And I was like, "No." And then I looked at the board that I filled out.
Yeah.
Because I don't know my license plate number.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They hit on both the daily and the evening drawing.
Yes.
was like,
God. And that's it. And that woman is a sign from the universe at the
Absolutely.
moment that you just didn't want to see.
Anytime a
Just
sweet old
didn't
black lady
wanna-
starts coming up telling me to play numbers, I'm playing those
Yeah,
numbers.
some random woman. I don't care if you're black, white, green, or polka dot. You
Who's
look like a
that guy?
fucking alien. You're like, those lucky numbers, you need to play them. Play them right now, child.
I
Like,
will.
okay, fuck yeah. I don't
I
care.
will.
Only $1, only $2. Fuck it. It's 10.
Probably
Okay.
get myself in trouble doing that.
Oh yes, but still, but that's it. That's
But I
a
couldn't
prime
believe it.
example of like,
What?
oh yeah, and it's like how much
The
would
universe
you,
was like, here's your sign.
Yes, that's exactly it. It is. It's a fucking. There's so many of them. It's an opportunity almost. Oh, sign opportunity.
Yeah,
a
another missed
fucking.
opportunity.
I could have just won some money.
I'm gonna go through deja vu on that. Would I do anything different, or would I still be like,
Oh yeah.
"Fuck, you won't play this"?
when
Thanks for letting me know, Grandma.
Yes. Well, it's like when I was working at the gas station, I was playing the lottery thinking, oh, dude, this is like destiny. I'm going to be working here, and all of a sudden I'm going to play it here, and I'm going to win it here. And then nothing. So then I
Hey,
leave.
just have my check.
Well, yeah. And then I used to have a kind of a problem with that. And then once I left, it was 2 or 3 weeks later, somebody at that fucking gas station sold somebody a $2 million lottery ticket. And it was just like, just that feeling. I'm just like, you even though it wouldn't have, yes, it could have been me, and I could have been the one to even sell it, because the person that sells it actually gets some money from it too, if the person's cool and blah, blah, blah. Like there's been a lot of it is where if you do sell a winning lottery ticket as a store, they give you like 10 grand or 50 grand or some shit like that. Not in every single case, but it was something where they got money, and I'm like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah,
but
tip 'em out.
I'd sold people $500 tickets. They come back, give you $50. Like, hey, here's 50. I told you I'd give you some. It's like, well, okay, and I got to see that humanity.
Yeah, if they
as
tell you to
well.
be like, hey, pick a lucky one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Here's the lucky
They're
one.
all fucking
It was
lucky.
lucky. I know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. This
Sure.
is the one I'm grabbing today.
Oh, I hated that. I hated when they put it on me. Like, well, you pick, and I'm like,
You pick.
Damn it. I'm like, when I pick you a loser, I'm the one that picked it. Like,
I don't
wanna
look at
be-
it like that. I look
Well,
at
no,
it
but
like,
I
here you go,
I
loser.
would, but I'd have to play it off like I don't give a fuck. But internally, my empathetic self is like,
I just-
oh fuck, I'm
just don't get
responsible.
into it.
And then it's the different personality of, oh, here's my work personality. Here's this. Oh, certain person come in, boom, you kick on your actual personality, and then
Here's my addictive gambling personality.
yeah. So yeah, let's fucking play more. Like I'll sit here and play with you all night. Like that. I did that shit. Spend my whole check before I even left work. That kind of stuff. Of just getting the check when you walked into work, and then you go to the ATM that's in work. You pull out all your money, and then you basically pay yourself to buy tickets. And then when you scratch them off, and then you pay yourself with the ones you won, and then it's horrible. It's so bad.
No good, man.
Well, that's why white trash people work at gas stations, because they want you to be spending your check there. All the people that work at Walmart shop at Walmart. All the
Sure,
people that they basically
They know
live
that.
there. I'm just saying.
They
It's
know
nothing
that.
against people personality wise. It's nothing against an individual. It is just an observation of the human race of, hey, these cattle and these sheep seem to stay where they work. They seem to stay where they work, and that's why those kind of people work in those kind of places, because the corporations know you're going to. They know, hey, if we do this kind of testing to get the employment in this kind of establishment, we will get these kind of people, which then we can keep in these kind of jobs, and you will never want better. You're not.
And in the
gonna want-
meantime, you're old, and we're gonna just have you greet people.
Yeah.
You look like you could die, but we're an
Yeah.
equal opportunity employer.
Yes.
Also, don't let them know that when we do that hiring paperwork, that we're gonna take out a life insurance policy on them.
Yeah.
About $2 million.
And nobody
She
will
looks
know.
like she's only gonna be here like
Yes.
6 months.
So we're
maybe.
collecting on money that we don't even earn, like we don't deserve.
Absolutely, man.
It's
dead peasants policies.
That's
Those
what
things are real.
It is a peasant mentality compared. Like all the people or peoples in power, they have to look at us like peasants. That's it. Don't be a peasant.
Don't be a peasant.
Be yourself. Be true to you. Be something true. Whatever that is.
The
Whatever
true
it
you.
is.
You got to do you and
Well,
be true.
The truth will set you free. So
Get out of the blue.
Yes, get out of the blue. You don't want that too.
Get out of the blue. Do
Covered in
you?
goo. I gotta
Like
put
how
on
you
my
feel
shoe.
after taking a
poo.
big old poo.
Number 3 to the number 2, and that's what we do.
That's what we do, man. Did it?
Did it, done, got it, got it. God damn.
You know, it's like totally need a smoke break now.
Yeah,
man.
so I need
And
8
like
cigarettes,
bourbon
back
or
to back.
something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh yes, goddamn. I appreciate you having me on though. And
dude, always, man.
tune in to Finding Lost. Tune in to every goddamn thing Elmer's World. Search Finding Lost. Watch his fucking vlogs. Attention, we want your attention.
Just watch us,
Please.
Watch us.
Please.
Let us know what you think. All right, dude.
Comments. Loving it.
forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You can also follow me on any of these social media outlets at FindingLostWDC or visit FindingLostWDC.com for the latest adventure updates. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time on Finding Lost.